Town Podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe, share if you can, and review if available. We'd love to hear from you, so comment below and tell us how we're doing. Don't forget to visit ourtownpodcast.com for all the links and join the members-only section of the website or sign up on Patreon. Now here are the boys of Our Town Podcast.
Shucks.
All right.
And Jeff on the board.
Yeah,
man.
Jeff on the board tonight. He's our
okay.
unpaid intern.
I'm giving it a shot.
Well, welcome everybody to another exciting edition of Our Town Podcast.
Did you say exciting?
Exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Exciting.
Expert.
I thought maybe we were getting paid for somebody else's eggs.
Oh, that'd be nice.
yeah.
Jeez. Boys, tonight's safe word is golly ollie.
Nice. What do you mean by that?
Well, it's because our radio play entitled Hot Runners of the Apocalypse has released its first episode
It's out of the
just
nest.
yesterday. So it's out of the nest.
Yes.
It's on YouTube and on Spotify, and it's on my TikTok as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
good
on the
work,
Our Town
good work,
website,
good
so go check it out.
It was a lot of fun to make.
It was a joy. A few curse words, but a lot of joy.
I realized how much I lisp when I talk.
Oh, well, that's okay.
You can ask for more in your next contract.
Yes,
It's
I would.
a specialty.
Are you saying I don't have enough of a lisp, but I need more?
Oh, geez. Tonight, boys, episode 111.
What?
Which is crazy,
No.
and we are doing the top 5 show. So just about every week we do a bonus round where we do a top 5 of something, some random topic. So we thought it'd be fun if we did a full show of top 5s to show you what you're missing if you're not a member, either on the Patreon or on the Our Town website. So if you're not, you should be. Go sign up right now. It's super easy and super easy to find. And if you are, God bless you. So, but before we jump into that, boys, I've got some numbers. Just throwing out some
I like
random numbers here. You like
What's
numbers?
it mean? What do you mean?
60.
Oh, yeah, I love 6.
60 is the careful amount of coffee beans that Beethoven used in his morning coffee. He was super careful that he would pick out 60 beans exactly to grind and to make his morning coffee.
Wow.
It was so important to him that he counted each one.
And then maybe even examine, do you think? Or?
I don't know.
Maybe he's like just got that OCD.
It's serious OCD, but yeah, he probably looked for the shape and
It could also be that he's like on a budget and he can only
that could be
afford
too, yeah.
60 a day.
Yeah, he worked it out. 50 cents, boys.
Oh.
And not the 50 Cent the singer. 50 Cent is the egg surcharge that Waffle House is currently adding to each sale
Very
of
good.
every egg. So 50 cents
Yeah.
per egg.
Wow.
Yeah, geez, 3 egg omelet.
Eggs are more than 50 cents a piece?
That's the
No,
surcharge
Yeah, so that's
that they're adding.
Yeah.
So if you ordered a 3-egg omelet, it would be an extra $1.50.
They could be paying 50 cents. Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
That's only $6 a dozen, right? That's happening right now.
Yeah, just keep eating eggs, people.
Yeah. 26 minutes, boys.
Yeah.
6 minutes. The time it takes for... I don't know.
It's the time that it takes Jeff to make up his mind on something.
Engineers and scientists at NASA have calculated the perfect amount of time for a power nap, for an afternoon power
Nice.
nap.
Yeah.
And it's 26 minutes.
That's
Not too long, not too
No, I
short.
think that's perfect.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah,
thought
I
it
used to
was
do
10
a
or
double
15.
shot of espresso, then take a power nap. And just
yeah.
wake up like...
Ready.
And then the crash is more fun, right? And then
man.
finally, boys, 34 years.
All right, what's going on there? That's from...
Phil Connors would have needed 12,403 days, or roughly 34 years, to become an expert in ice carving, piano playing, and French poetry from the movie Groundhog Day.
Okay. Okay.
Jeez.
So Phil Connors, the Bill Murray character, would have
Okay.
needed 12,403 days to become an expert in at least those three things.
Got it.
So
He
his
died at least that many times.
or just had that many
Yeah,
days,
that many days to spare,
12,403
right?
days, yeah. And he didn't start right away. He kind of
No, he
effed
hit
around for a
angry,
while,
yeah.
right? And got
He punched
mad.
Ned.
Yes.
Ned Flanders. Ned Flanders.
Jeez. All right, well, you guys want to jump into some
What
top
the-
five?
Yeah.
I do, but I
Absolutely.
want to say this one thing.
Yeah.
I've got a number for you guys.
Okay.
850.
Ah.
850.
The cost of a beer at
That's
Nope.
somewhere.
It is the amount of eggs that Cool Hand Luke ate
I don't-
in the movie Cool Hand Luke.
850?
He ate 50 eggs.
50 eggs, yes.
Nice.
850.
Oh, I see what he did there.
I did a little thing.
when he said 850, I thought maybe he was going to tell us that's his credit score.
50 eggs is a lot, people.
That's a
I don't
lot
think
of
I've gotten
eggs.
it to 850
Yeah.
before. 850 is pretty
Chicken
big.
eggs.
That's
I'm
the
thinking about
perfect
it.
score, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And Cool Hand Luke has one of the sexiest scenes ever
Oh, I guess.
put to celluloid.
I never saw it.
Please do explain. I don't remember that movie that well.
The lady washing her car as the
nice.
convicts are in the hot sun looking on. And she knows exactly what she's doing with all these chain gang guys sitting there. She's rubbing up against the car and a little skimpy sundress and all that stuff. Yeah. Got to go revisit that
Oh,
movie.
yeah, jeez.
Boys, top five. Top five reasons that Gen X
Oh, geez.
is the best generation.
Yep.
The best.
The
best.
absolute best. Who would like to kick us off?
I'll go.
Go
Or
ahead.
Todd will go.
Okay.
Let's go with Todd.
All right. My number 5 is hose water.
Yes.
Water, that's
Tasted
great.
so good.
No, it didn't.
It was refreshing,
Yeah.
but it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
The first little bit to get the super hot rubbery part out, you had to give it a second, you know.
That hot rubber flavor, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were ingesting through
No.
those rubber hoses.
You don't want to know.
Sure, yeah.
Early plastics.
Yeah, jeez.
You're soaking in it.
Somebody did a AI of a bottle, and it was hose water was the label
Was
of
it the
it.
label?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we should totally we should make a brand of
That's a great
of bottled
idea.
water and just call it hose water.
Hose water.
It used to be called Liquid Death. Now it's called Hose Water. Or maybe it started as Hose Water.
Oh my
I
gosh.
love Liquid Death, by the way. It's great.
Jeffrey?
Yes.
Number 5 for you.
Number 5 for the greatest Gen X reason the Gen Xers are great is pop culture, like MTV and the movies that were out.
I mean, that's kind of my numbers 1 and 2 because it's best movies and best music.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yes, I know precisely what you're saying, but Huey Lewis is the best music. You know what I mean?
But it's not just about Huey
I know.
Lewis, dude.
I know. Hey, God
don't-
bless Huey Lewis.
Mike, do not forget the best music of the 80s
Bill
was Def
Collins.
Leppard.
Oh my God.
Should I
Best music of the
pontificate?
80s.
Should I pontificate on how good the album 4 is? Like Christian Bale and American Psycho.
Yes, you should.
I never saw that movie either.
It's like the whatchamacallit, the soundtrack to the Pretty in Pink and
Oh yeah.
All the John Hughes
Breakfast
movies.
Club and all
Yeah.
that sort of thing. It kind of defined the generation.
I actually have a playlist on my Spotify that is all the music from John Hughes movies.
Yeah, it was huge.
That
Yeah.
one's
Simple
on there,
Minds.
yeah. That's actually the first one on the playlist.
Little Huey Lewis in the news trivia
Yes,
for you.
yes, please.
So they were like bar band in San Francisco, and they moved to England to try to get a record contract and record an album. They ended up being the backing band for Elvis Costello on
Did not
his
know that.
first couple of bands before he. I don't know if they were the Attractions or whatever the other one is. And then, moved back to San Francisco because they couldn't get their own thing hooked up with Huey Lewis, and the rest is history.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good little piece of trivia.
My top 5, boys, is the lack of technology when we were kids.
I actually put for my number 3 is no surveillance, no smartphones or Alexa.
Yeah, and if it wasn't a house phone, right?
You didn't get it.
Yeah. Occasional pay.
Speaking of which,
It sounds like a house phone.
Yeah, so good.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, just not having to worry about tech, not checking your emails, not checking your texts and stuff.
not checking your social media feed.
Yeah.
Which I think also, but I remember looking forward, well, besides bills and shit, but getting stuff in the mail.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like different. It's not
Sending
the same as
box tops and a
an
couple of
email
quarters
or
in the
getting
mail.
Yeah. Right?
Oh, man,
so
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Anonymity is a really big thing.
It really
right?
is,
I always
yeah.
thought that I wanted to be, I don't know, famous. I wanted to be Jim Carrey, right? But
me
even
tell you,
before
it's
I was
the
Jim
worst.
Carrey, I wanted to be famous. I wanted to, but now I just don't want to be famous at all.
Yeah.
Well, let me turn this off.
I for like the first 10 years of being on the internet was I made sure that my shit was not out there. You couldn't find me unless I let you find me.
Yeah.
So
it's good to keep your shit out of the internet.
Tight.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean.
I do know what you
but now, I mean, my stuff is still private, but I don't really hide myself anymore. You can find me now. You just won't see what I'm posting unless it's on it's like Instagram is just random shit. It's not like anything personal, usually anyway. And my Facebook is largely just friends. I don't have any family on Facebook. Not zero. So.
Mikey, what would your number 5 be?
One word: Cinemax.
Yes.
Don't you mean Skinamax?
yeah. Because everybody knows exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about Skinamax, right?
Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
I don't
The
think
late
it needed to be
night.
said. It was just known.
Late nights.
Those that are in Gen X understand. Those
It
have to look it up.
Did your parents do
Gen X remembers.
Cinemax or HBO?
No, we don't. But once in a while, you get the free cable
Yes.
weekend or
That's
something.
right.
And if you didn't, all you did was just turn the dial just a little bit.
Get
and
the-
it was
the
that.
Get that
lightning,
squiggly
yeah.
boob.
Yeah, you got a squiggly nipple.
Yeah, squiggly nipple occasionally.
That was Mike's nickname in high school, Squiggly Nipple.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Todd, what would your number 4 be for this list?
BMX bikes, man.
Oh,
Nice.
that's a good one.
Like, you guys remember, like, going with your friends everywhere and not having to worry, you didn't have to check in because, mom wasn't going to give you money for a payphone.
No.
No, you got to do the super fast.
I wasn't allowed to do the collect calling, even to do that, because mom was like, no, don't do that, and just be home at this time. I was like,
No, fair
"All right."
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Geez, BMX turned to skateboards, but same concept.
I
And
was
BMX
not-
are bomber bikes. They're tough. They're simple. You can fix them on the road. you
I was
know.
not allowed to skateboard because I was very accident prone as a kid, and mom was afraid I was going to kill myself on a skateboard.
Man. Jeff, what would a number 4 look like for you?
That's exactly what I have is BMX.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Same thing.
Did you? What was the?
Yeah, did you have a favorite bike?
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
I still have it actually. In 1979, I saved up like $320.
Wow, back in
Right?
'79.
So that means I was 11.
Yeah.
Right? And I went down to Schwinn the
Nice.
day after Christmas and I bought all the parts individually for my Redline BMX with
Nice.
Redline,
forks
nice.
and the anodized. It was red, white, and blue. So
I
the
remember
frame
that
was
bike.
red, the handlebars were red, the grips were blue, the rims were red, but the spokes were blue, the forks were white.
Nice.
And I had it over here at. I took it over here to GHY for a little while, but it's in my garage. It's still there and
Right on. That's
perfect
great.
shape. Yeah.
Oh, lock that thing in a giant titanium.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just seal it in resin.
Yes.
My first BMX bike
So good.
wasn't a brand name anything. It was a Frankenstein BMX bike. I don't know what it
Sure.
was.
Yeah.
It was red everything. Everything was painted red. But as a 20-something-year-old, I bought my first Diamondback. I absolutely wanted a Diamondback.
Haro Diamondback.
I was 25 years old and I got it. And I had it for maybe 2 weeks and it got stolen.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I had a Sakai 250 Challenger, all blue. Everything was blue. Even the tires were blue.
Yeah.
And that got ripped off. And I did see it on the street. The kid had sanded it completely down to bare metal.
Shit.
I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
Just so dumb.
Just so you couldn't recognize it.
So dumb.
Yeah. Just want to put them into a volcano.
I do.
Yeah. Go back, start over.
Start over.
Magma with you.
Have him start as Joe in the volcano. Joe versus the volcano.
Jeez. My number 4, boys, latchkey kids. Just having that independence as a kid.
Yeah.
It's 10 a.m.
And is that
You know
because
where
they
your
had
children are?
faith in us or they didn't care?
I think it depends on the parent, but I think it's a little combination. It was a little column A, a little column B.
Yeah.
And they had to all work. Everybody in the household had to work, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's when that started.
Yeah.
That was the end of the potential for a single income family.
Right. Yeah, it really was.
As far as I know.
Did you guys have the freedom to go just
I need to get
wander
a
about?
rich trad wife.
A witch?
To make pies
Rich
every day, another
wife.
pie, right?
Just kidding.
I think every Gen Xer was allowed to ride their bikes wherever, as long as we were home before the lights came on on the street lights.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
And you come
Before
home and kick the
somebody's
game.
mom had to yell.
Yeah.
I got in trouble one time for being late because I was 2 blocks away from the house when the street lights came on. And I was grounded for like a week.
Jeez.
Trauma.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in Seattle in the neighborhood, right? So we knew kind of the borderline of the neighborhood, where we could go, what was a little too far out,
Right.
kind of a thing. So
At the time that this happened, we were living in Newport Hills, and I don't remember where I was coming from, but all I know is I was late getting home. And because I wasn't home when that halogen light in front of the house came on, I was in deep shit when I came in the house. My stepdad was mad. I didn't get hit or anything, but I got yelled at. And I wasn't allowed to leave the yard or the house for like 2 weeks. I thinking I found a way around that by going into the neighbor's yard to go yell at my sister for something. She's like, "You left the yard." I was like, "No, I didn't." Oh, shit, I did.
Clever.
nice. Mikey, did we do you?
For number 4?
For number
No,
4?
mine are Hot Wheels. I think we're the last generation to fuck around with Hot Wheels.
I got Bailey a ton of Hot Wheels.
Nice. Glad to hear that. Well, I'm glad to hear.
In the 90s, we saw a lot of the weird, like, large wheels on Hot Wheels cars. So, the ones that looked like they were left out in the hot sun and they just melted.
Gotcha.
That's what they look like.
Yeah, so I have Hot Wheels from my childhood, from Bailey's childhood, and my daughter picked up a few Hot Wheels when she
Jeez,
was
I'm glad
younger.
to hear it. No, that's
so what
great.
I'm going to do is put together a huge box. I'm going to find the largest, awesomest carrying case that I can to hold and give them to my grandson when he gets old enough.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a great.
I gave my great nephew and great niece some of the things I had from childhood. When my niece had kids, I gave Alex, who was her oldest son, oldest child, when he was like maybe a year old, my mom gave me in the 90s, because I was huge into Tasmanian Devil, Warner Brothers character, and she got this. It was like the Warner Brothers version of the Tickle Me Elmo, but it was the Taz, and he would spin on the table. He would like blah, blah, and he would spin around on the table. I gave that to Alex, and he just goes. He didn't care. So, yeah.
That's all right. It was a good gift. Good.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Nice thought.
I don't have any kids of my own, so why not?
Put a voodoo curse on the dog.
You start putting pins in
Hello,
it.
Chucky. Sorry to interrupt.
Comes alive.
You bring up a good memory of things with wheels, like Big Wheel. Remember the Big
I had one.
That kind of like isn't the same genre.
They have them
they're
for
cool.
adults now. Have you seen that?
Yeah, but I just that whole thing brings me back to like pinching my arms. I had a version of that? Where it was, you sat in like this tub, and it was like a tank, and it had 6 wheels, and the 2 middle wheels, you would go like this to get going, right? And it wasn't as like versatile as a big wheel, but you'd get your thumbs and your fingers caught between the handle and the wall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it would hurt.
It probably
what that
looked
was
cooler
called?
than that.
Were they putting those through any safety
don't
tests?
remember, but it
crash
was-
test W for those.
I remember
Where's
doing
Ralph
this.
Nader?
You know what I always wanted? I did get a big wheel when I was a kid, but I really wanted the McGreen machine,
Yeah.
which was that one that had the rear wheels were the ones that turned, and
Yeah.
you could whip that around and do 180s in it.
Is there a show that you guys have done on like toys of our youth?
I think we
did. Yeah, I think we did like a year or so back.
We could redo it though.
We could absolutely do it again. I don't mind talking about that stuff.
Toys are great. Todd, what about you? What number 3?
I wrote, because I was trying to think of things. I put no surveillance, aka Big Brother, also known as smartphones and Alexa. There was nothing to keep track of you back then. It was either you were home or you weren't.
Nosy neighbors.
And the CIA following you around.
Yeah, my mom wasn't that much of a helicopter parent, so.
But if I was doing something stupid and a fellow adult saw me doing something stupid, they would have.
Oh yeah, that's how I got caught in high school. Because I left school to go do I didn't feel like going to school that day, and one of my mom's friends saw me at like one of the local shopping centers and said, "Hey, Todd is here." In the middle of the day.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Make thanks.
Man. Jeff, what about you? What would number 3 look like for you?
Well, exploration and independence is what I put down.
Okay.
Kind of what we already talked about.
Kind of latchkey independence kind of a thing.
Just having that anonymity.
I think that kind of goes in line with what I said, the no surveillance, so that way you're just able to go out and do whatever you want, and there was no record of what you did.
Yeah. I wish there was a thing where we could analyze how much shit we got away with versus nobody nowadays really does anything.
You mean like
so they don't practice like being outside and fucking around. Right? Like let's go I got an idea. Let's take a bunch of Campbell's soup cans and put fishing line into them and then string it across the road. And you got 6 Campbell's soup cans on this side and 6 Campbell soup cans on that side. And you got it on the mailboxes here and over on the fire hydrant there. And then somebody would go buy it and it would like they were married. Right.
Oh, man, I think about all the trouble my brother got me into. That he and I got into growing up. And it's like my kids never half of that, right?
No,
right.
But
the closest my kids have ever got is Max. Max basically is the guy that was creative and tried to do science experiments on everything. I came home one day, or no, it was in the morning, and I went out to go take him to school, and he'd already been out there, and he had learned the day before how to make like acid. Like stuff that it would tear
Melt.
concrete.
Oh,
right?
jeez.
Right? It was like lemon juice and sodium bicarbonate or something like that, right? If you mix that together, it'll take the... And so I come out and there's like a bunch of just holes in the sidewalk.
did he become a scientist, Jeff? Is he a scientist?
He's working on it.
He's working on it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's great. I mean, he was just... we called those Maxidents.
Maxidents, nice.
And he had a lot of great ones.
Yeah.
Every room in our house had a Maxident.
Nice.
Which was great.
My number 3, boys, I picked this because I feel like we're a big time bridge, not only in different things, and my number 1, we'll go into this a little bit more, but for historical events, right? It's okay, we didn't have like the greatest generation with World War II and whatnot, but just all the events that have happened from the time we were born till now, right? Just all the crazy shit that went on.
Yeah.
You know, the younger generations that have doubled that in the last 8 years.
Yeah.
Also,
Are you speaking of like
from the moon landing to the...
JFK being assassinated?
Well, we
Yeah,
weren't
not
around.
quite, because it's that
but
generation...
that was 64.
that's still a boomer.
That's a boomer, yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
That'd be a boomer.
Just about because we land on the moon when?
69.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So yeah, if you want to go
Say it
moon
again,
landing
slow.
to...
Yeah.
69.
Did we really go to the moon?
You know, we had the death of Elvis and Bruce Lee within a few years of each other, and Jimi
Yeah,
Hendrix.
well, yeah, jeez. Yeah, we
All within the first like 5 years of the 70s, right?
Yeah, Chernobyl.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
AIDS.
AIDS
I'd say,
definitely.
both major nuclear power failures, right?
Berlin
All of
Wall
them.
coming down.
Because we had 3 Mile Island.
And they still have that.
First, the non-military ones, right? The ones we'd hear about anyway.
Yeah.
They still have that one segment of the Berlin Wall at the Seattle Science Center.
Yeah,
Not the Science Center, but the
might be
center
another
house.
episode just talking about all the crazy historical events in our lifetime.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Or you
It's a
remember,
lot. It is.
You remember where you were when the Challenger blew up?
Yes. Yeah.
I was in the Issaquah Middle School library with my entire class,
Watching it.
watching it, and then watching the librarian start sobbing. It was weird seeing a dude cry. Because at that point in my life, I hadn't seen a man cry ever in my life. We don't. do-
Yeah,
we
nobody
don't do
wants
that right now.
astronauts to die. Everybody loves.
I mean,
astronauts.
I didn't know what we were watching was even real.
I don't know. I mean,
And then Terry
Maybe.
McAuliffe?
No,
Was that the-
well, the job at least, right?
no. So NASA need another 7 astronauts. That's too soon? Is that terrible?
Oh
mean,
man,
I
I'd
was-
do it.
I would-
I'd just thoroughly
I was-
unqualified. But if it was a risky,
I
let's
was
sign me
making
the
that
fuck
joke.
up. I'd do it.
I was making that joke that day.
Yeah.
Need another 7 astronauts.
It's not a joke, but I mean, it's like.
I mean,
when
it's
I heard it, I was like appalled.
It's a terrible joke, but it's a joke. It's a terrible joke, though.
Yeah, it's a good idea, Charles. Though. Yeah.
Yeah, Mikey, what about you? What
What do
would
we
number 3?
Remember just cruising, man? Are we the last generation to go cruising in cars?
Oh, in the cars.
Yeah.
Yes.
People just go
I don't know
cruising
that we're
around
the
town.
last
The Red
generation,
Loop,
but
Alakai, right?
Oh, totally.
Yeah. And I know they did it back in the American Graffiti days, right?
Yeah.
But are we the last generation to be doing that? Or do people in Seaside still do it, or somewhere in Indiana or some shit?
Yeah, I don't think
Maybe.
they cruise anymore. I think they go do drag racing and that's-
Yeah. I mean, if
Those
you
big
live,
It's more extreme or whatever.
if you live anywhere near South Sound, you'll hear them down at Emerald Green's parking lot.
Yeah. Or
sure,
they
sure,
do
sure.
that crazy thing where they go, they put a
Do
bunch of
donuts
people
and
and they
shit?
do
Yeah.
donuts and people get hit.
Yes.
It's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
It's like I do terrible. I've done terrible idea things all my life,
Yeah.
but that one ranks up there.
That is up there.
I think that we can all blame Vin Diesel for that.
Thanks, Vin Diesel. Friend of the show.
That guy. Why don't we get him on the show?
That'd be great. Oh, yeah. Friend of the show.
Yeah. Jeez.
I'm sure you can find him, Jeff.
Oh, yeah. Plus, he's Riddick, dude. And even if you don't like the Fast and Furious movies, the Riddick movies
I
are
like
great, man.
Riddick a lot.
Oh, yeah.
He is Groot, by the way.
And also, yes,
And
he is
Groot.
Groot.
He's Groot.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know.
Yeah.
So he got paid whatever it is. He got paid millions of dollars to say "I am Groot" like 150 times per movie,
That's great.
Yeah.
and each time he says "I am Groot" is a different time he says it.
Yeah. Unlike Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Deuce, where all the Oompa Loompas are the exact same Oompa.
Yeah, Deep Roy.
What a cheap ass thing to do. man.
Rip off
Hey,
his,
you know,
Did they not know we were going to notice?
at least Deep Roy is an actual little person, unlike what's his face in the new Wonka movie.
Hugh Grant.
Oh, Hugh Grant. Yeah.
Hugh Grant.
Oh yeah.
Was
Can we
not-
say midgets anymore?
No,
Why not?
because it's their equivalent of the N word.
Oh, geez.
Really?
Yep.
Is it
hear that.
is it oppressive? It was used as an oppressive.
Yeah, it was
term?
used. It was used.
I never heard.
It was
Or mine
used.
is
It
just
was.
incorrect
It was
anyway.
used by Barnum and Bailey or whoever would have them as
Exploitive shows.
entertainment.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got you. I got. I kind of like the word.
I mean, some.
I mean, as far as the use of
some
the
little
word.
people embrace it, like Brad Williams calls himself a midget. But
Okay.
you say that to anybody else, they'll probably come out your.
I guess.
come
yeah,
after
maybe
your
that's just
ankles.
not,
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, and I won't.
Yeah.
I won't.
I mean,
use it.
Yeah, just like
it
that.
depends on the individual, but more often than not, they don't like that.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, Todd, what would your number 2? Oh, no, did we do?
I mentioned it. I didn't really talk.
I just did number 3, so yes,
Okay.
that would be his number 2.
Best music.
Yeah, that's my number 1.
That's my number one too. Yeah.
Best
Well,
music.
I don't know.
I mean-
I just can't say it. What up? Like Motown.
What about punk?
Yeah, but I'd say
there were-
some 80s punk, but most of the 80s punk I'm not that into.
Honestly-
I think it's really cocaine heavy.
Your
Yeah.
70s punk or 90s punk?
70s and post, yeah.
There's so many different styles of music in the 80s. You don't have to pick just one.
That's true. Yeah, it was the birth of hip hop, right?
yeah.
Well, you guys are stuck in the 80s. I mean, we bridged a fucking gap. I mean, if you think Gen X,
all right.
I mean, we
that
did
is
the
all
moon
the
landing,
70s.
right?
Yes,
So
we
you
did.
can go
All right,
60s,
all right.
70s,
It wasn't
80s,
just
and 90s.
You're right.
Yeah.
It says Gen X. It doesn't say the 80s.
It doesn't say the 80s. It says Gen X. So that talks about
100%, 100%.
the 1964.
Yeah, what's-
1964 to
Born.
19 born in 64 to 1980.
Oh, I didn't know it went
that's
all the way back 64. Oh, yeah.
64 to 1980. That's Gen
Oh, yeah.
X.
Oh, no,
So-
that's everything.
Just that
oh, you're
bridge
kidding me?
of our lifetime,
Oh, that's
right?
best
So,
music.
I'll-
You totally just turned me around.
Yeah.
100% best music. 100%. 100%.
And don't
Fuck
get
you,
me-
Beethoven. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of terrible music in
Oh,
the
sure.
70s and 80s.
Just kidding.
But there's also a lot of fantastic music in
Yeah.
the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Early
And up
metal.
until now, because we're not dead yet, right? So
I
we're
mean,
still
the
experiencing,
Sure.
you know,
The
still
birth
have-
of heavy metal happened in the 70s.
Yeah, you could say late 60s, but
I mean, it was Iron. Was it?
In a God of the Bee.
Iron Butterfly. Yeah, but then I think it really took off with Iron Maiden. Not Iron. Excuse me, not Iron Maiden.
Sabbath.
Iron
Black
Heart.
Sabbath.
oh,
yeah, Black
no,
Sabbath.
That's what did it.
Yeah, and
And it got
Ozzy-
admitted it
Priest.
didn't make the Pearl Clutchers
Yeah.
like,
Ozzy-
pass away. Black
Ozzy-
Sabbath killed. They just went. They just couldn't take it.
Ozzy
It scared
took it-
everybody so much.
Ozzy took it to the next level when he went solo. But I think it was definitely Black Sabbath that started it.
He redefined that the hotshot guitar kid.
Yeah,
and the
Randy Rhoads,
elder-
man. Randy
he
Rhoads.
made that whole formula. Then
Yeah.
everybody was like,
Yeah.
"Fuck,
Yeah.
I need a Randy Rhoads like
Yeah,
it."
yeah.
But there's one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
I mean, Zach Wild is pretty awesome, but yeah.
It's a different thing, yeah. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
at the time, though, no, he redefined that whole relationship. It was
Yeah.
great. It was great.
Sounds good.
Jeff, what about you? What would a number 2 look like for you?
Supermodels.
Oh,
Nice.
mean,
We
yeah.
had some.
Al McPherson, dude.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
they themselves were not Gen X, but they became a thing when we were in our adolescence.
Yeah, this is we get to
Yes.
watch this. We get to experience this.
The
Kathy
early,
Ireland?
the
Are
early
you
swimsuit
kidding me?
issues of Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
swimsuit.
Kathy
So-
Ireland for sure.
I became a man because
Al
of Sports
McPherson.
Illustrated.
Al McPherson.
The news, the articles, people.
It was the articles. Absolutely.
In the woods.
I mean,
Hobby
but it was,
by
myself.
It was. I think the first supermodel was Janice. What's her face? Janice.
Joplin?
No. That's a singer.
Yeah.
Janice. I can't remember.
I know
her
who you're
name.
talking. I can picture her.
She's a real bitch. Every
Oh, jeez.
no, I'm serious. Every reality show she was on, she was like the bad girl every single time.
Gotcha.
And
Well, it's
no,
a
I don't
good
think.
gig when you can get it.
Yeah, I mean when
Being a heel
you're
is
the
good
original
money.
supermodel, you can have a bit of a big head on you.
Yeah.
Give me a big head too. My number 2, boys, because earlier I said the lack of tech, but this is kind of interesting. The tech growth. So from starting with the stand-up gaming machines and the arcades and stuff to the home computer, the dot matrix printers, all the way through the Apple and the Apple II, the Commodore 64, and then all the way
Dial up.
Yes, dial up. I mean, 95, Windows 95, all that stuff.
I remember my first dial-up.
mail?
My first dial-up modem was a 300 baud external modem.
Yeah.
And it was so goddamn slow. I mean, you remember how slow the dot matrix printer was? That's how fast the information was getting into my computer.
I think it was slower. I think it was slower. You can watch those pixels, just kind of streaming across the.
Jeff, I remember the first time I downloaded a JPEG, okay?
Yeah.
It took
all night.
It took 30 minutes.
Oh, mine took all night. I got up the next morning and
let me got to the booth. Hold on, let me finish. It took 30 minutes to get the bottom half of that photo to load.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Good times.
I hadn't heard the baud sound, the dial-up sound in a long time, and I was watching YouTube, and there's this lady that messes with scammers, like those Indian scammers, and she plays like she's an old lady, and she's on the phone. Okay, what do you want me to do? It's like click on something. She goes okay, and then she makes that sound. And the guy's like, "What are you doing?" In a very stereotypical.
There is a YouTube channel that does similar things in that they're messing with scammers, and I believe the account is called Malcolm Merlin, and that's all it says as far as the name on the account. But it's basically a hacker group that will screw with the scammers. They will have the scammers log into a virtual machine, and while the guy's playing around on the virtual, he doesn't know he's logged into a virtual machine, and while he's dinking around on the virtual machine, which is a virtual installation of Windows, I think it was Windows 7 or whatever it was. But either way, while guys thinking he's fucking with this old lady, the hacker is like taking screenshots from the camera, the security camera in that building of everybody at their desk, and then putting that as the desktop on that
that's
guy's
fucking
computer.
with somebody.
And
that's cool.
And then when he minimizes his own window, he sees the background has been changed to a security camera footage of their office. He goes, "What are you doing?"
He's sitting. Yeah.
And what are you doing?
I have you now, bro. Yeah.
My favorite one though. My favorite one was that he would actually find out the address of where they're at and like put the screenshot on the desktop be like the Google Maps, like street view of their office building.
Good times.
Yeah.
Nice. Jeff, what about you? What would number 2 look like for you?
I just did number 2.
Oh, what was your Supermodels? That's right.
Yeah, Supermodels.
I did Tech Through the Ages. Geez, I'm way behind. Mike, what's a number 2 for you?
Geez, number 2. Yeah, wow. Geez, I don't have a number 2. I have a number 1.
What is your number 1?
My number 1 is the normalization of interracial relationships.
Yeah.
Right.
That kind of happened in our lifetime. Yeah.
Kind of did. Yeah. I'm cool.
Yeah, because it was just before that. It was the Loving couple, right? The Mr. and Mrs. Loving.
Yeah.
What state were they in? Be safe out there, boys and gals.
Safe, guys.
I want to say Missouri.
I think it was Missouri.
It's always Missouri.
But that was like early 60s, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Family right behind us, a really nice family, was a mixed race couple. Just great folks, grew up with them, their kids, the whole thing. It never seemed odd to me. And then you heard about
it was a normalization.
Yes, yeah.
You know who I was surprised that was in a mixed relationship? It was Bill Burr. When I first saw him, he strikes me as the kind of guy that would not date someone outside of his
I see what you mean, but I do think that once you start listening to him enough, you'll see.
Yeah, but
that guy's pretty rational. He's got a pretty rational mind.
He's just tired of people.
Yeah.
That first bit of information you get from talking to him, you figure he's probably a good old boy or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's been with the same woman for a long time, and she's African American. So yeah.
They seem to have a great relationship.
Yeah.
All right.
And there's nothing wrong with. I mean, good Lord,
Absolutely
what a
nothing wrong
great
with
thing. I can kind of remember that whole idea of there being.
That's everybody.
Oh, guys, what's happening here? All right, stop, guys.
Let them through. Let them through.
Stop for lights and sirens. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
On the corner of 3rd and Main in downtown Renton.
Yeah.
Shit's getting real.
That's our public service announcement.
I love how people ignore the "get the fuck out of the way" horn.
Yeah. So remember when you were young and you saw an interracial? I mean, we were referring to our parents' reactions to those things or our community's reactions to those things, and I can't remember a specific reaction, but it felt like that was like a bad thing from the surroundings I grew up in. A lot like the N-word was being used from time to time in different circles and that sort of thing. And I was like, what the fuck is this? But that transition's a really important thing that we started to get rid of that. We started to omit that from our lives. I think that's
in a large portion. I think.
Thanks, Mike. That was a good one to bring up.
Yeah. I don't know. I ran on every fucking parade. So
no rain in here, man. You're doing great. That was awesome.
Let's jump to Jeff and number one for you.
Number one.
Or did we already do that?
I did music.
Was the music? That's mine too. So again, that bridge.
Yeah.
You know,
no,
because if you think about everything in our lifetime, right?
Oh yeah, from Foghat.
Van Halen, are you kidding me?
Van Halen.
Oh yeah. The fact that we got to live on an iron ball, hurtling through, a galaxy at the same time that David Lee Roth was.
Yes.
So good.
David Lee Roth and Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh yeah, so good.
Just, man,
So
how lucky
good.
did we get?
Yeah.
Jeff Beck.
Foreigner.
Yeah. Stuff you hope
Toto.
they're picking up out in
Styx.
interstellar space.
No,
somewhere.
don't make fun of Sticks.
I'm not.
I'm
I
big-
love both Foreigner and Styx.
I'm not a big Foreigner guy.
Foreigner 4, and I kind of like the first album.
Yeah.
But Foreigner 4 is a masterpiece.
Four had that's
Jukebox
before they
Hero
became
and all that
super
stuff.
schlocky with
The ballad stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jukebox Hero, and it's one of those, but it's overly produced, but it's so well produced, you don't care.
Yeah.
It's really, I think it's a really good record.
It's funny.
Is that on my top one? We should do a top 100 Desert Island discs.
top 100.
Is that on my top 100?
How about you?
Yeah.
Miss America. That's not Foreigner, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Because I'll just listen to
how
one
did that go
album.
again?
Yeah. Anyway, I digress. I apologize.
Mike,
Miss
what would
America
a
by Styx.
number one be for you?
The normal.
Oh, we did that. Yeah. All right. Shoot.
So it's Todd. We need Todd.
My number one is the best movies, man. I mean,
Oh, geez, all right.
all of my favorite movies happen within like a 2 or 3 year gap in the middle of the 80s.
Jeez.
So
The Shining and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That's probably 70s.
I have not seen either one of those movies, and I probably never will.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah. I am currently going with the 14-year-old going through 80s movies, and so far I don't think she's super impressed. We did Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, man.
You didn't like
We
Ferris
did.
Bueller?
She did. She thought there was parts of it. We did Red Dawn, which just
The original?
Patrick
the
Swayze?
original, the Patrick
Oh, yeah.
Swayze one.
You should show her the Chris Hemsworth one. Then.
I'm trying to think what else we did. I think I'm gonna do what's the vampire one? Lost Boys. I think I'm gonna do
Boys,
Lost
yeah.
Boys
Oh,
next.
that's a great.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember it
I
being
mean-
great, but every time I revisit a movie
So
from
you're
back
like,
then,
wow,
I'm
it seems a lot of
how about
predatory behavior on these
I-
teenage girls.
In the last 6 years, I rewatched all of the John Hughes movies, and some of them didn't really hold up.
what about Caddyshack?
Caddyshack.
I think it's got
wouldn't
some
be.
of the best lines
It
ever.
does, but there's
no matter
also a few that are like, yeah, that can't happen today. But no, the Lost Boys, I did watch those. I watched the original and the 2 straight-to-video sequels that came out that also included Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. Although Corey Haim wasn't in most of it because they filmed in Mexico and he couldn't go across the border. But Corey Feldman is as goofy back then as today as he is back then. He's not really.
How about Weird Science?
That's a great.
Yeah.
That'd be a little.
Remember Chet?
So
Yeah,
good.
Chet was great. Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
So good.
But
I'm sure. No, I love Bill Paxton.
in fact, I think that's one of the few John Hughes movies that has not. I don't remember any problematic things. I have to rewatch it again. It's been like 10 years since the last
Is
time.
Weird Science a John Hughes film?
I think it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Could
He
be.
might have written it but not directed it, or vice versa.
If there's a way to look it up.
I don't know. It's funny. Family Jewels.
Grandma and
I saw that
Grandpa
in
are in
theaters for sure. For sure.
the closet.
Boys, let's jump into our next top
What
five.
in the world is going on?
This is top 5 best road trip snacks, because I just did a road trip yesterday and some of mine I had on the list. Todd, why don't you kick us off? What's a number 5 best
Go with
road
somebody else because I'm still looking at
Oh,
Weird Science.
all right. Jeff, you want to hit
Sure.
your road trippers?
Number 5 is string cheese.
Oh, geez, good.
Yeah, I like string cheese because, especially when I was on a trip with the kids and stuff would just get passed around.
Do you
could
do
reach
string
back in.
cheese otherwise, like at home, or is it just a road trip thing?
We did it when they were young a little bit, but not now. Like I wouldn't consciously go get it now. That's why it's number 5.
Yeah. But it's good for keeping people busy.
Yeah.
And it stays sealed, so you can just have it stored in a cooler all by itself, right? Because then you just peel it like a banana.
Yeah, we had a whole brood of kids, so I mean, we had a cooler between
a lot of work,
in the minivan and Betty.
Yes,
right?
Betty Price.
Weird Science was in fact written and directed by John Hughes.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Okay.
All right, well, my number 5 best road trip snack is a meat stick. The cocktail pep, the beef jerky, the sausage, the Slim Jim.
And how come just because
The old boy Alberto.
there's a flavor to them?
It's easy to eat.
Yeah,
it's easy to
eat.
munch.
Yeah,
They're
you're
in a
right.
package.
Yeah,
It's right there.
Not good. They're just spicy enough to be a little. So you think about it a little. It's not just mindless.
Was that
stays in your
Roddy
mouth for a little while.
Piper? Who was the
Macho Man.
That was
Macho
Macho
Man,
Man, Randy Savage.
Never do a Slim Jim.
Mike, what about you? What were number 5 road trip snack?
These nuts.
Just handfuls of nuts?
Just nuts. Yeah.
Handfuls of nuts.
Oh yeah.
Any particular nut is your go-to?
Yeah. Oh, geez. No.
Cashews
Yeah.
or
Well,
peanuts?
fuck. Yeah. Cashews are Cadillac.
Pistachios.
Yeah,
Those
it
are
all depends. I'm not against about any of them, really.
And then last question for you, Mike. The flavored nuts, where they put like either the barbecue or the ranch or the...
Maybe in a small amount mixed together.
Mostly
I do
it's just the salty nuts.
And I've had like sprouted almonds and shit unsalted.
These are
stuff
not
like
the
that,
first
like
salty
elephant,
nuts I've
right?
had in my
Yeah,
mouth
I know.
today.
I knew you wanted to talk about this. I'm glad you brought it up, Mike.
But it's good. It's not super filling, but it's a little filling.
Oh, that's what
If
she
you get
said.
to-
Yeah.
That's what it's
Oh my gosh, we're going right down the rabbit hole.
Not start getting weird when you say nuts. I mean, you got to go there.
And I did specifically say.
Stay young.
You did. Todd, do you have your number 5 yet?
Yeah, my number 5 is A&W root beer, man.
Oh. Love it. Is that like into just a can of it or a bottle?
A can or a bottle, yeah.
Oh, it'll be good. What about the cream soda? Did you like that?
I mean, I don't hate it, but I preferred root beer over cream soda.
Is that like just a road trip item, or would you drink that?
I mean, it's anytime I would stop at a gas station for something. If I was getting gas and I had a few extra dollars, I would get myself, a bottle of root beer.
Nice.
That's nice.
Any brand?
A&W.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah.
I got you.
Is that a nationwide brand?
I don't know if it is.
Yeah, maybe.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
I became a Barks fan,
Oh.
mostly because it's a New Orleans kind of a thing. But
Barks was good. I actually like Dad's root beer as well.
Dad's was really good, yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised when you go to the grocery store and you go to that aisle where there's all those options and there's like 25 different root beers. People make root beer.
Right.
No, it's a thing.
Like
Oh, yeah.
actual brewed root beer.
Joe's root beer out of his garage.
The Dubtown has their own cream soda, and I had a glass of it last time I was in there. It's like, oh my god, I need to come back and get need to get my growler filled up.
That's pretty great.
Do you sell soda at like a farmer's market?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could make your own custom flavors or whatever. I don't know if just have to go through the FDA or anything, or just
Small batch stuff is a little easier to do, but
What was the name of the company that did that made all kinds of different...
like Jones soda.
Jones soda.
Yeah, which I think is still a thing, right?
Jones, our first episode
that's a
ever
couple
was.
years back,
Don't you remember we tested the Thanksgiving Jones soda
Yeah.
on the first episode?
the turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy. Yeah.
It was
disgusting.
It was
Exactly how you imagine it.
Cranberry sauce.
No, seriously, it tasted like gravy and mashed potatoes. That's all it tasted like. I didn't have anything else in my mouth other than gravy and mashed potatoes.
Man.
Liquid gravy and mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
It was-
Geez, my first best friend growing up, Ralph Lawrence, his family ended up moving to Vashon Island, where they had a cabin, probably when I was like 7 or 8. But his dad would brew the root beer. So every time we went to his cabin on Vashon, break out the homemade root beer, and it was delicious.
How's that made? Do you know how that?
I don't know.
It's made the same way beer is made.
Oh, it's fermented.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Real root beer is just like beer, except for it's not an alcoholic.
What's the catalyst? What's the root?
Sarsaparilla.
Sarsaparilla.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. In fact, Triple X Burger in Issaquah had their own brand, their own
Root beer.
formula of root beer that was. And last time I was there was probably early 2000s, and they told me at that point Coca-Cola was making it for them. But they have their own recipe.
Is that a Burger Master now? What did that become?
I think it's becoming.
It's becoming a Burger Master.
Okay, they bought the space.
They bought that land and
Which
the
is
building.
nice. I think that's nice.
And
They're a well-run. I've been to that Triple X, and I just really would never go back.
Yeah.
I had
really?
a bad
It's a
experience.
shame. Yeah, no, it was really badly done.
It was the food was just not good. Like
It was
Well,
okay.
and in this day and age, you just can't get away with it.
no, you have
You know
to.
what I mean? It's something.
Well, if you're going to charge
going out anymore.
if you're going to charge $20 for a burger too, it better be
It's
good.
got to be. Yeah,
Great
at least
location.
good enough. Yeah.
They had their Triple X Burger, which was the burger itself was like the size of a dinner plate.
It was a pancake, basically.
Yeah.
It was huge.
It was massive, and they said, and when you go into the place, they had on the door, "We will not give you fork and knife for the Triple X Burger."
Novelty.
And I said, "There's no way I'm eating this without a fork and knife. If you want me to not send it back and go home right now, you're gonna get me a fork and knife." And so they went and got me a fork and knife because they wanted me to pay for that meal.
All right. You got your way?
I was just like, dude, there's no way there's no way for me to pick this up and not have it land in my lap.
You got to try.
No, I don't.
Just layer up with napkins and
Jab.
get into it. Just
Jab. No.
Put it in there.
If you could see what we were seeing right now.
But no, it's just like, no, I'm not doing that.
All right.
So
Jeff, what would a number 4
I did like the root beer.
trip look
The
like?
root beer is amazing, though.
Peanut M&Ms.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Those are a little
Nice.
pick me up. It's got a little protein in there, and it was just that.
Kind of, it's almost healthy. It's like a
Yes.
trail mix
Yep,
and a
yep,
little.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And that, Trail Mix is in there.
And,
No, me too.
and my top 5 is not in any particular order. These are all just things I would get. All these things, you know.
Got it.
Sure.
So
Yeah, I do like the peanut M&Ms. I actually prefer those over the regular M&Ms.
I didn't when I was a kid.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't like the peanuts when I was a
Peanuts?
kid.
What are you? Why are you ruining?
Yeah,
Why are you trying to give me something somewhat healthy?
Yeah, sneaking a peanut. Fuck you.
in my mind,
Big
the
peanut listening.
in my mind, the peanut M&M took away from the chocolate. You didn't have as much chocolate on the peanut M&M because there's peanuts in the middle.
Exactly.
Peanuts. My number 4, boys, is just fast food in general. Because I don't usually try to get the fast food, but stopping by and getting some fries or a burger. I just try to hate kind of eating and driving a burger.
That's kind of my number 3.
I do and I don't. Yeah, because it's so dangerous. My seatbelt has like the ketchup, mustard, mix and shit.
Can't hear you, Mike.
I don't know. I love trying to eat a burger when I'm driving. It's probably dangerous and stupid, but I do.
That's only because he was faces away from the mic.
Demonstrating my seatbelt.
Sorry.
Goo.
Trying to get
But I mean, yeah. No,
But fries, yes. Fries are easy peasy. It's great.
Charles, what's your go-to fast food in the world?
I don't know. These days, I don't know. I mean, it was always McDonald's, of course, because that just
same.
was the go-to. But nowadays, if I do McDonald's, it's a Filet-O-Fish sandwich with the fries.
Nice.
I'm a Taco Time fan.
So Taco Time's the
but they're not
best.
everywhere.
No.
It's lucky when you come across one.
Yeah, love it.
And when you come across one in Eastern Washington, and it's not a Taco Time, it's actually the other
The other guy,
not Taco Time Northwest.
That's like the Dick's Drive-In over in Spokane is not the same Dick's that we have here in Seattle.
But people in Spokane will fight you to the death on the contrary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it similar? Does it
It's
taste?
exactly the same.
It's the same
Setup, the whole deal, but it's just different.
It's not the same company. It's not the same owners.
It's like McDowell's.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bad carbon copy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Admit it.
It's a
It's a disappointment.
Dang.
Yeah, I went over there. It's like this is not sticks from Seattle. This is completely different.
Nice. Mike, what would be your number 4?
Trail mix.
Trail mix?
Because it's solid, right? It's got a bunch of different shit in there. And if you make it yourself, then you know precisely what's in there. You don't get some weird yogurt fucking thing that you're not expecting.
A yogurt raisin.
Yeah, that weird. You know what I mean? It's not really yogurt.
Are you a trail mix? Are you a trail mix picker out, or like do you go in and get all the M&Ms first, or do you go in and get the chocolate chips first?
No, I just grab handfuls of shit and hope for the best.
Nice.
Yeah. So when it comes to like cereal, you don't just take out all the marshmallows and Lucky Charms.
No.
Yeah, you do.
I
haven't had Lucky Charms. Mary just had some the other day, so that's.
I eat
there's
around
Lucky Charms in my house.
the other things. They eat all the marshmallows first when it comes to Lucky Charms.
Oh, like in the bowl, you mean?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, like
I could see. I know what you're saying. I bet as a youth I did, but I don't remember having that cereal as a youth. That was not in my house when I was a kid. No way.
When we would get that, it would be the store version of it. We wouldn't get Lucky Charms. We would get the small Irish guy cereal.
Yeah.
Nice. Nowadays they have the extra marshmallow Lucky Charms.
Right.
Are they from the Marshmallow District of Fred's?
Is that like the Oops All Berries?
I haven't had it. It sounds like they throw in a few extra handfuls of just the marshmallow.
They put them in a plastic bag.
It's separate?
I remember when that first happened. I couldn't wait to get the grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need that because
I know
there weren't ever enough marshmallows in that.
I know you can buy a bag, like a gigantic, like maybe 2-pound bag of like miniature marshmallows like that.
The freeze-dried little marshmallows.
But they're not the same as the ones that come from Lucky.
Are they Lucky Charm brand?
I mean, no, they're not.
Plastic was coated with BHT to support freshness.
They're more like the Swiss Miss miniature marshmallows.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But it really is the same thing. The only difference is that the Lucky Charms are in shapes of things.
Nice.
Otherwise,
Which is important.
nah.
It is, and it has to be in milk. You have to like, just get all that.
I mean, yes, I'm not saying eat it straight without milk. You have to put it in milk. Otherwise, they don't rehydrate.
For sure.
Where we at, Todd?
That's America's favorite way to commit suicide these days, though, is to eat a Popeye's biscuit with no water nearby.
What do you just dehydrate?
Tasty. You just kind of turn into a
Chalk throat.
Am I missing something?
The driest substance.
Just sucks all the water
Ben
into you.
Shapiro's old lady.
I gotcha.
It's like that. Was it that second G.I. Joe movie where they had the water that like would suck all the hydration out and basically turn you into a mummy. Okay, well, back to the podcast.
That's why I make the big money, people.
What are we doing?
Good job, Mike. Good job. Todd, what would be a number 4 for you?
You know what? This was my number 3, but I'm moving it up to number 4. The AM PM gut bomb. Just that late night $1 cheeseburger they have under the heat lamp.
Oh yeah. That's disgusting.
It is.
They're not good.
But when you have literally $5 to your name and you want to get something to eat and something to drink, you have to make some.
It's never been better.
I know, but intestinal distress is real, people. Like on a road trip, it's the worst.
I would not be able to do that today because my body would absolutely fight back.
Sure.
And I haven't eaten food from an AMPM in some time, but I'm sure, just like with 7-Eleven, I think it's gotten better, right? The
Probably.
Seeming quality.
Probably not, though.
Where are you getting your information from?
I don't know. Nowhere. Some false
Do you work for
optimism.
AMPM?
But no, I specifically said AM/PM because I was. I just remember that was the nearest not the nearest grocery, but the nearest convenience store to where I was living growing up, and it was like quarter of a mile from my house. I would ride my bike down past the state park in Issaquah down to the AM/PM next to the Holiday Inn right off of I-90, and just buy whatever was under the heat lamp and like a 20-ounce Coke.
Yeah. Jeez.
The 20-ounce Coke would help you not like get the hydration pulled out of you by eating that gut bomb.
Right.
Nice. Jeff, what about you? What would number 3 look like?
Number 3 was the same as you. Slim Jim.
The meat snacks.
Something in
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it was the barbecue, sometimes it was the teriyaki.
The flavored.
Right, a little bag of that, and you just sit and gnarl on it.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it
sort
was
of like
sometimes a
jerky
shit mix because you would get ones that were stale, and you're like, fuck, you're already on the road, and you're opening it up, and you're all the way down the road, and you can't even chew on it because it's so dried out. But I like the ones that are soft and just, you know, it's like meat. Right? It's like
like a sausage.
a little piece of chunk of meat.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Although I didn't have very many Slim Jims. I
don't know that I've ever had a Slim Jim.
I think I had one.
I just heard this in the United States, meat sticks are a $3 billion industry. $3 billion annual industry. Yeah.
We're missing out.
Yeah, I think I don't think I ever got Slim Jims because that wasn't really a thing when I was a teen, and not for me anyway. I would get whatever the local. It was probably
Like Oh Boy Alberto.
It was probably Oh Boy Alberto.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Those are
They like
the 80s, right?
either beef jerky, because I remember being a kid and getting beef jerky because it would last you for a long time. If you had $1.25 you're spending at the store, right? It'll last you longer because you can't just plow through it, right? It's like you're eating belt buckles.
It's work.
It's like fuck.
Chewing on leather. Yeah. Mine was the cocktail pep, the Alberto cocktail
nice,
pep.
nice.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
So
I
good.
had.
Yeah.
You get like the 5-pack little thing.
Yeah,
But it
that's
wasn't
what I had.
cheap though. That wasn't a cheap kid thing too much. But
That was like a teenager thing. Because I remember when I was a kid, we'd go down to the local convenience store and get with $5 from my dad or my mom, depending on which house I was at, would go down and grab like a candy bar and like a can of whatever the cheap soda was.
When I was really young, I remember the penny candy.
Yes.
And that was a thing. Like I didn't really know about it until this one time, and I was at my cousin's house down in Happy Rock, which is called Gladstone actually, but I always called it Happy Rock. And we would go across the high school field and go to this little IGA looking place, and we'd spend time in the amount of candy that was on that bottom
What's
shelf
You
was
said
a
candy, remember? Penny candy.
nickel, dime. If you were lucky had a dime, you were like,
What's an IGA?
International Grocers.
Yeah, there's one at Skyway too. They're like smaller.
Yeah.
smaller
Like an
grocery.
independent.
Like
Almost like QFC before it was a Kroger.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It just gets
Maybe not as upscale.
Like a
They got
Thriftway.
consumed.
guess
Maybe in a little lower than Thriftway.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just was
But it was bigger than a convenience store, but it wasn't as
Yeah.
big as like a Safeway.
Yeah, it would have like
It was like the size of the Safeway up on Fourth
Road.
or on Sunset.
On Sunset. Okay, the
Yeah.
original Safeway layout. Got
Like
it.
the original Safeway, kind of small guys.
Yeah, like,
with
Mr. Whipple squeezing Charlotte in the corner. and shit.
Mr. Whipple. I love that guy.
squeezing his charm at work.
Jeez. My number 3, boys. Surprised nobody's hit this one yet, but a Slurpee.
Oh,
Or an icy,
Sure,
if you're going to.
That was not a thing that we got as a kid because those were expensive.
Yeah, Slurpees. I never really got into Slurpees.
Yeah, it's too
I don't-
sweet
Really?
for me.
I
That's
did.
too much.
It would hurt my brain. I'm
when
actually
it's-
getting a headache just thinking about it right now.
I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe that's why we never got them because I would like inhale it,
brain,
and
no
of
pain.
course, within that first slurping, you inhaled half of the cup, and then your brain freeze hits you, and you're crying for the rest of the day.
I did go with my kids one time later on in life, and we brought like buckets because they had like fill up whatever container you had.
Oh, serious?
Kind of a thing.
At the 7-Eleven?
So Max has got like a 5-gallon bucket. Really nice. Okay. No, he didn't have that big of a thing, but
It's like, I'm going to go feed Africa.
right.
Feed Africa.
After I
there's
finish
starving children in Africa. They would gladly eat that, Charles.
Do they know it's Slurpee Day?
Do they know it's Slurpee Day at all?
Oh, man, that's so bad.
You guys are all going to hell.
Yeah. You're coming with, no, I didn't laugh at that joke, Jesus.
I'll save you a spot on the
Plays
bus.
the tape back.
If there's no video footage, it never happened.
Mike, what would a number 3 road trip snack?
Yeah, just French fries, man.
Okay.
Right, it's come
The
on. They're
fast food
salty.
fries,
Yeah. When they're hot, it's
Go
great.
to?
You can just stuff your face. Go like drive-through fries. Fries anyway, dicks. But that's not really road tripping,
Yeah.
right? Because if you can take the bus to it, it's not a road trip.
What?
But yeah, their fries are great.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I McDonald's fries when they're fresh,
Yes.
right? Because they're sweeter. They have some genetically engineered salt, But
Is that the peanut oil or something?
No, I
that they
really don't.
claim?
I don't know what
I
they
don't
do.
think they use peanut oil.
I-
Do they use
For
peanut oil?
what?
Shit.
For what?
For the
Deep fry the
fries.
fries. I'm not sure what
It's
they
the-
use, but
yeah,
For which
the tiers of
McDonald's
peanut
French fries.
volunteers.
McDonald's uses peanut oil, yeah.
oh, they do. Oh, okay. All right.
Circumcised peanuts.
Or they did back in '86 when I worked there.
These nuts oil.
Mike's going back to his nuts. Todd, what would a number 3 be for you?
The Charleston Chew, man.
Nice. Oh, great call. Great call.
Now, and the only real way to eat a Charleston Chew is to let it sit in the freezer for a day,
Oh man, yeah,
and then
sure.
break off a
Yeah.
piece the next day, and let it
Let it
melt,
slowly melt.
slowly melt in your mouth. Yeah,
Nice.
They're still around, right? They're
yeah.
still
I don't know if they make them as big as
Yeah.
they did back in the.
Yeah, I know.
Because it always
Yeah.
seemed like a bigger candy bar for the
It
money.
was. It was like.
It sure seemed like it.
It was like a good 16 inches long. Yeah.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That's what I wish she said.
The Charleston Chew was the one with the chocolate on the outside, and then it was
Yeah.
that gooey nougat.
More of a nougat than a taffy, but
It was-
still that kind of tough,
It was like the Three Musketeers, but
more dense,
and
right?
dense, and harder, right?
Yeah, I think it was more
Chewier.
dense than a Three Musketeers.
more dense. Yeah.
Nice.
Because you can chew through a Three Musketeers without risk of damage.
Yeah, you-
you
Yeah,
can't chew through.
I wouldn't
just take a
Charleston.
I wouldn't be able to eat a Charleston Chew today. There's no way. I might just do that to get rid of the rest of my teeth.
It's kind of a Charleston, please don't chew. You pull those fuckers out at the roots, bro.
Yeah, man. Jeff, what would a number 2 look like for you?
Celery and peanut butter.
Oh, nice.
I just,
Oh, yeah.
Dipping as you're driving, or
No, they're already
just pre-made?
They're pre-made,
Good
ready to
thinking,
go.
Good thinking.
Yeah.
They're ready to
With
go.
the raisins, what's that? In the boat or
log,
what is it? Oh yeah,
something on a log.
yeah.
Ants on a log.
Ants on a log.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just really like that flavor profile.
Nice.
It's that crispy wetness, and then
And
there's
you
the-
don't choke because there's enough water in
That's
the cell.
right,
It keeps you from
exactly.
dying.
Yeah.
I remember in 4th grade, we had, I don't remember why, but we were doing a thing where we were making things to eat on road trips or whatever.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I learned to make, and I thought was kind of a cool idea, was toast on peanut butter on toast, but with raisins on top.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I never thought about raisins on toast.
Toast, yeah.
That's a different one.
Well, if I have peanut butter involved, I'll put raisins on just to break it up a little to get the saliva in motion.
I mean, with Jif peanut butter, you don't have to worry about that so much. It's not even like real peanut butter. It's like the
Oh, Jeff, yeah.
Yeah.
Choosy mothers choose Jeff.
Yeah. yeah. Juicy milks.
That's what people used to call me as Jeff. Hey, Jeff, what's going on?
Yeah. Nice.
Did you say choosy milk? Choose Jeff.
That's what I inferred.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, man.
That's how I got
Any
my
part of the
start.
storm, baby.
Now, do you remember it as Jif or Jiffy?
Those are two different products.
Yeah.
Jiffy
Yeah.
was not peanut butter from what I remember. Jiffy was like the little mixes for like muffins and shit.
It
Cake.
was that
Oh, no.
too.
Yeah,
That,
sure,
that was a
too, yeah.
brand, but
Yeah,
Jiffy peanut butter still is a
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Jiffy peanut butter does not exist. That is a Mandela thing. Look it up.
Jiffy peanut butter does not
Jiffy
exist?
peanut butter does not exist.
Oh, I don't believe that.
No, I'm not going to spend any time even
Yeah.
debating that with you.
I
look it up.
I went down that rabbit hole so many times because there's no fucking way that never existed because I remember it and I did look it up and it's like, oh my god.
Well, I don't know. Just I don't know.
Jif peanut butter.
Well, what's the other one?
I don't remember
What's the one in the
Jif, yeah.
blue bottle or the blue container? There was the one that was in
Jif.
the red.
Jif.
No, Jif was the red one.
Jif creamy was in the blue. Jif crunchy was in the red.
No.
Yep.
You're high.
I am not. I don't do that.
You're high.
I don't do that.
Well, you're
I'm not
metaphorically high.
Google is right in front of you, dude. Look it up.
No.
The metaphor.
All right, we'll get back to the Jif argument, peanut butter argument.
That's what we should do a whole episode about the Mandela effect, man.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Boys, my number 2, and this is especially true in the morning, but they go anytime, but donuts.
No shit.
And especially like the Hostess, the little stack that you get, the glazed or
You're
something.
talking about like the little bags of donuts.
Yeah,
Well, the little
stack
pack.
ones you can
The
pop
stack
off.
one.
I'm just gonna have a couple and go. Brrr.
They're gone.
Oh, yeah, but the powdery one was also choking hazard,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
delicious death. And the chocolate glazed ones are just so
great,
waxy
yeah.
and good. Oh, they're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Oh
Jeez.
man,
But
it's
you can
been
go
a
with any baked
long
good on
time.
that.
Yeah, it's just the containment, and the sticky.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, because having a sticky steering wheel is a drag.
The blue, the blue ones are the crunchy, and the red ones are the creamy.
No.
Yep.
No, the Smuckers are this is creamy right here. This is creamy.
That's the red one, and then the blue one's the crunchy.
There you go. Yeah, you said
I had them backwards,
Yeah,
but either way, that's why there were two different colors because one was creamy, one was crunchy.
Yeah.
Anybody like the crunchy?
I don't.
I like crunchy peanut butter, but I don't like the sweet, partially hydrogenated vegetable protein.
Oh, with
and
the
vegetable
Jif.
oils, yeah. Because I get
Like an Adams guy.
or some
Oh,
other.
it's not Jiffy, it's Skippy.
Skippy.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the Y.
Yep. No,
That's the
I
Y in
concur.
there.
Thank
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
Skippy.
but the thing is people do
Skippy
remember
peanut
Jiffy
butter.
for some reason, and it's because
No, yeah, Jif with a J.
They're confusing the two brands.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I got. Yes, just I think
Does
Jeff as
anybody
well.
remember
We
this? Do you remember down by the Rainier
can't.
Brewery?
Sunny Jim.
Sunny Jim, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sunny Jim.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I can't tell what any of those are.
Well, I'm not
Sunny
really
Jim's icon was
trying
cool. He's a
to-
little ginger kid, right?
Yeah, the little redheaded kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my next door neighbor's grandfather.
Is that where
worked
you
there.
get sweet strawberry jam? Is from the blood and oozings of
Of gingers.
You just wring them out like a towel.
It's because they don't have souls, Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah, Sunny Jams. It's
Soul has
what
been
is jam
replaced
not
with
profitable?
jam.
So they had to move that
I
out of here.
vaguely remember that, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
and they spell crunchy with a K.
Right.
Oh man.
Crunchy,
Yeah.
vacuum packed.
Was that a
That's
local
nice.
brand?
It was right down next to the.
No, I remember it
The
because
factory. Yeah.
Oh,
driving by there all the time. I don't know if it was
Yeah.
a Seattle
I bet
brand.
there were a lot of brands back then were much more
Was it
localized,
Wasn't
right?
Hostess also local too? Because they had like a building right
They
down by
sure
the Space
did,
Needle.
but I don't know where Hostess just seemed so big.
Yeah, I would
I
think
don't
that
know.
they would have regional bakeries. That would,
Something like that, just like
package it up.
Coca-Cola has
I
regional bottling.
I remember when Hostess went out of business, people were going down to that
Yeah.
building to
Well,
buy products.
They had a hostile liquidation from a venture
Hostess.
capital. Yeah, that was shenanigans. There's that was really just gross.
So it says here that Sunny Jim was the name of a brand of peanut butter produced in the Seattle area.
Nice.
It was manufactured in Seattle, Washington by Pacific Standard Foods Company. And the company was founded by Guillermus Wilhelm Fernstall.
that guy.
That
Yeah.
guy
Oh, yeah.
in 1921 after he moved to Seattle from Wisconsin and bought a peanut roaster.
Bought a
Jeez.
peanut roaster.
Yeah, so he started with peanuts.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I-
I want a Sunny Jim T-shirt now.
Cool.
I'm gonna try to find one.
Yeah,
That's a
nice.
classic, right?
Yeah, no, that makes you local.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think recently we're getting back to something that's completely off topic. Smaller brands again. You do see, even in like Fred Meyer, I see smaller local jams and honeys and stuff like that. And there's still giant brands as well.
Right.
Yeah,
so
but I gotta be
hopefully we can
careful.
kind of reclaim some of that. You know?
I would like to be careful of that though, because when I go in there and it looks like a family-owned label, right, you look a little bit closer and it's actually owned by
Yeah, sure. Weapon X.
the devil. Yeah. What's the guy that wants all the water? He wants to own all the water.
Oh, yeah, Tom
Nabisco,
Selleck.
not Nabisco.
You know,
Nestle.
Nestle. Yeah.
Nestle.
Yeah.
That guy.
Fucking Magnum PI.
No, he's fucking Selleck.
Where did this come from? What did you say?
He got busted.
He got busted for stealing his neighbor's waters.
Yeah. For his avocado
Yeah.
plant or something.
gotcha.
His fucking vanity pond or some shit. But I've got a pink swan
Mike,
who has a mustache.
let's get back to the podcast. Mike, what would your number 2 be?
Milkshakes, dude.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're so good.
Yes.
Because you can drive and just go, it's hot, your windows are down, you got a milkshake,
That's the
and life is
best.
good.
Mike's
So
got his
good.
life is a highway. I will ride it all night long.
Yeah. Windows at the T, or hands up through the T-top and shit. Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. We
Mike's
should rent
rocking on
car
a
and
Canadian
go out.
highway.
Shirt off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
man.
winging it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, good
milkshake.
call, though.
Milkshake.
Go to milkshake flavor if they don't have, like, I guess vanilla, chocolate, strawberry are like the most common, right?
Yeah, well, Dan, I'm not mad at any of that.
No.
So,
Vanilla always seems a little too plain for me, though.
sure, it's not, but if that's the only,
Oh, yeah, I'm not,
I'm
kicking
not,
it out of
yeah,
bed.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's refreshing.
Burger Master is, I think, the only place that still makes like old school milkshakes. And I discovered years ago that I remember seeing it on the menu all the time, but never even thought to ask what it was. But Tom and Jerry milkshakes is basically eggnog milkshake.
Nice.
I love eggnog, so I was always about it.
I do like eggnog.
Do you guys know the Pickwick down in
Yeah, I love Pickwick.
Fife?
Yeah.
And they got one in Auburn
Yeah,
now?
they got one on 4th Avenue.
They do?
I go to that place
What
probably
is it? What is it?
3 times a month.
It's just a little drive-in, burgers, hot
yeah,
dogs,
there's
stuff
a
like
few of
that.
them. There's like 5 or 6 of them, but
Oh, geez, I didn't know they had that many.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
in like
there's one in Auburn,
North
yeah.
Bend. There's
is there
one
one
in
Is there
North
one in
Bend.
North Bend?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like Pickwick. I
Yeah,
thoroughly
because they
like
got a
Dairy
root
free-
beer
dairy freeze?
milkshake.
nice
Root
nice.
beer milkshake.
Yeah.
There's a drive-through burger place in Port Angeles that is pretty. I think it's fairly well known. I'm trying to remember the name of the place now, but it's basically like it looks like a little miniature. What are those something string?
Containers?
No, it was like an old RV slipstream or something.
Oh, Airstream.
Airstream. It looks like an old
Airstream.
Airstream, but it's
Yeah.
a little tiny restaurant that you drive. It's just a drive-through.
Oh, I don't think that's in. Is it in Port Angeles or is it in Sequim?
It's in Port Angeles. It's It's right down the next block down from McDonald's. Right when you come into Port Angeles.
Port Angeles. Okay.
Shout out to PA.
It says here
Yeah.
that the popular milkshake flavors, the top 5 is chocolate, strawberry, vanilla, Oreo, and Shamrock.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I haven't
that's
had a
big
Shamrock
deal.
shake
No,
in a long
decades,
time.
dude, probably 1980.
Yeah.
something.
But if
Maybe
I
not.
don't have any of
So,
those,
yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the Shamrock or the Oreo because
I
just
love
don't like
But
that.
once in a while, you'll get like a
Mint chocolate is my favorite.
nice or like Heath Bar style thing.
Oh,
but,
like from Dairy Queen or something.
Yeah. Oh, but I
Like a
guess
Blizzard.
that's a Blizzard. Yeah, that's different.
Right.
A Blizzard takes 2 hands. A milkshake
Yeah,
doesn't.
yeah,
right?
milkshake.
I'd go blackberry.
No, yeah.
I'm a big fan of
Oh
blackberry.
yeah, no, that's a good
in
one.
milkshake.
Yeah, yeah. Remember? Oh yeah.
I remember the place is called Frugals in Port
Oh,
Angeles.
Frugals, yeah.
Yeah.
They got, I think they have some in Tacoma, too. We did a bunch of camera work
Yeah,
for them.
this is the place. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
It's a little tiny
Oh,
place.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Where the hell are we? Todd, what would your number 2
No,
be?
number 2.
My number 2 is corn dogs, man.
Corn dogs.
It is.
Yes, so easy to eat, too, while you're driving.
And they're cheap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and
Like,
different kind of meats.
Depends on what place you get them from. I think AM/PM sells them for like $1.50.
My only problem is you either need a dipping cup of mustard or you got to like
Glop.
squirt the little mustard on there.
Squirt it on top of the.
Yeah, because I want mustard in every bite.
Right. Same.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it is but a vehicle for mustard to the face.
If you're going to do it like at a fairgrounds type setting, if you're going to the Puyallup or if you're going to like King County Fair, I would always get whatever the giant dogs were, and always would have to have them slathered in mustard. You can't have it without mustard. Yeah, that's the place. I think.
No, this is Fat Smitty. I was bringing up the other one.
Oh, Fat Smitty's.
This is Fat Smitty's on the way to Squim.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think.
Have you been in there?
I have, and the place is
Covered in dollar bills.
covered in dollar bills and smells like menthol. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does.
My kind of place.
It's the dirtiest place that I love.
And the last time
That's where I get my blackberry shakes.
the
Nice.
last time I was there was in 2018. Yeah, 2018. Went in there with my uncle because I lived out that way, and we were heading out to my dad's. We stopped there to get some food, and the owner of the place had Fox News on 11. And you couldn't have a conversation without having to listen to whoever was on TV at the time. So
Todd, did you say that place was in Port Townsend?
Port Angeles.
Port Angeles.
Port Angeles, it's like right when you first when you first pull into Port Angeles.
Yeah.
And right before the road splits into two different roads, one going
Yeah, right here.
west and one going east.
It's on, what's it called?
It's Frugals.
Frugals. Okay, I'll look for it. I want to try it next time I'm up visiting my mom and dad.
It's
Are they up that way?
They're in Squim.
Nice.
Sequim.
Yeah. Sequim.
so you have to it's like you have to drive past McDonald's before you see it.
Okay.
It's literally like a block and a half beyond McDonald's when you're coming into Port Angeles.
You ever walk out to that lighthouse?
Out on the peninsula out there. Yeah, that's gorgeous
it's
out there.
awesome,
You
yeah.
talking about at Port Angeles?
I thought it was out of Squam. There's one that you can walk down the beach. I think it's a 2.2 miles out to the lighthouse, and then
Out by Dungeness Spit?
yeah, it's on the Spit.
I don't know if. Yeah, that's the lighthouse out on Dungeness Spit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd never made it all the way out there,
Oh, okay.
but that's a gorgeous.
It is. It's absolutely.
If
Absolutely
you don't want to
gorgeous.
drive quite that far, you can go up to Hansville, which is at the top of the peninsula, just before you go across the bridge.
Yeah.
For Frugals?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about if you want to go to the beach and see a lighthouse, you can go to Hansville.
Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Definitely. Jeff,
It's a tiny little lighthouse, but it's there.
let's finish off this round. What was your number one for best road trip snack?
A handle of Jack. I'm just kidding. I meant to say supermodels. Wait, no. Okay.
Road trip snack.
Trail nuts is what it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Trail nuts.
With M&Ms in it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
You get that little treat every once in a while, and then you go back to the savory, and then you go back to the
Maybe
little
that's why they call it trail mix instead of trail nut, because then it doesn't sound weird.
And there's dried fruits in there sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like apricot.
Yeah, stuff like that. So it's nice. Yeah.
Freeze-dried bananas.
That's
are
the thing that
great.
gets you further down the road than most any other snack, because those other snacks are like sugary, or there's a lot of things that are
Yeah,
sugary.
it doesn't have an even plateau, right? It's a lot of bounce.
It's like, I'm ready to go 70.
Yeah.
What is that, Charles? How fast were you going?
77.
Oh, man.
And how much was that?
Motherfuckers, $196.
Oh, man.
Damn.
So
Charles had an incident.
Is there some other way
I think
we
it's
can
why
come
my
to that
mom-
standing officer?
my mom always
He
went-
wasn't being unsafe, though.
My mom went to whatever there was up on 4th, up past the cemetery there, behind the Jiffy Loop. There used to be a grocery store back there in the 80s, which is now an apartment complex, I think. But it was one of those. It was like Bargain Market, but not that place. I think it might have been a Thriftway. But they had the bulk items section of the store, and she would go in there and get all the different kinds of things to make her own trail mix.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah. That's very hippie of her.
Yeah, I know. I've
Well,
done
I
that
mean,
many times
she
myself.
was one of those people that would go for runs for fun.
lots of people. There's a big trend in that.
Right.
There's a lot of people that do that.
I know, and
they
that's
get high off
that's
of it.
when it started back in the 80s, man.
used
I
to
like
do-
to chase other people's dogs.
She wanted me
That's
to
when you run?
go
Yeah,
run with her, and I
to get
"Come
back
here."
at
I
him.
couldn't come here.
Come here, doggy.
Come here. Yeah.
I think the only way to get me to run that far would have to have a Chihuahua chasing me or something.
Nice. My number one, boys, is those salty or sweet snacks that you just don't get but like once a decade. So I'm talking about like combos.
Sweet and savory.
No, most of them are savory, but like combos, corn nuts, Cracker Jacks.
You mean that section that's
Just
got
that
the little
weird
bags, that
section
one
with the little
section?
bags.
Yeah.
The Ritz cracker.
Lifesavers, right? Junior mint.
Just that weird
No,
thing.
no,
So
no,
I had last night on my way home,
Andes
I had
nuts.
Cracker Jacks and I had corn nuts. And I haven't had corn nuts in probably
man.
25, 30 years.
The original flavor corn nut?
I did a different flavor, and I don't remember what it was. It was kind of a,
Cool Ranch.
no, it was like a Mexican, maybe
They put a packet of taco mix in with your corn nuts.
yeah, it could have been taco. Like, I don't know what exactly it was, but maybe some of that tahini.
Was it good?
That was good. I ate the whole thing. But I
Is that what they call that taco mix? Is tahini?
that flavored.
The flavor you put in with your hamburger to make it taste like taco meat?
Yeah,
Well, that's a bunch of stuff. In.
different stuff.
The original ranch barbecue flavored chili picante,
I think that might have been what it was.
Goodness.
con limon, and Mexican style street corn,
No.
and jalapeno cheddar and loaded taco.
No.
probably loaded
I think it
taco.
was the chili.
The chili. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I was
How did they
inside.
go together, though? You know what I mean?
With what?
Were those two? Because you had Cracker Jack as well.
I did that first, and then I drank a bunch of. So I drove down. I left the house at like 7:45. Got to Salem at like 11:30.
Oh, man.
And then I was stuck inside until like 6 something, and no break, no water, no nothing.
Jeez.
And then came outside and was just like guzzled like this whole thing of water.
Yes.
And then started eating the Cracker Jacks, and then I hit the road thinking I'll stop and get something on the way, which I did. But in the meantime, I ate the corn nuts because I was just like, oh,
Yeah. And corn nuts are hardy, you know.
yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
What do you think those are made out of?
I thought they were just giant corn kernels, right?
That's
Who
what it
knows?
is.
Yeah.
Made
Dried
out of
corn kernels.
Do you guys want to know what the most unhealthy candy is?
What?
Candy corn, Nerds, and Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, geez.
Unhealthy because of the sugar content,
Or
or
the jelly.
Corn high in sugar, which can cause blood sugar spikes.
Sugar. Well,
Nerds
only-
contain a lot of sugar.
and you are what you eat.
Sour Patch Kids contains a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a lot.
All right, well, sugar. Mike, what about you? What about
Falafel.
Falafel.
My favorite travel food of all time is falafel.
Nice.
That's just good. It's just, it's not heavy. It's
It doesn't make you feel awful?
No, you never feel awful when you're eating falafel. But there's not a lot of drive-through
We got to do
falafel
that
joints in these
commercial.
parts.
He's
you
a
know?
he's a natural.
Oh yeah, no, I believe.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite falafel? From
Geez, in these parts, my favorite of all time was down on First and Cherry. They had the best falafel, and I've had falafel on 3 times.
Could you call it a gut bomb?
Right by Metzger's Maps.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this was the fucking bomb. dude.
Which side of
Yeah.
Metzger's Maps?
Just up the hill, just up Cherry.
Oh, just up Cherry.
Yeah,
On
they
the-
shared.
on
I
that-
think they shared a wall. As a
on
matter
that-
of
Oh,
fact.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and that became Luigi's or something like that. didn't
Something,
it?
yeah, I don't know.
I gotcha. Poor Metzger's Maps. Jeez.
Yeah.
That was a great place.
That was, yeah. Oh my gosh, Todd, what about you? What would number one be for you?
My number one is something I've only been able to find in like gas station convenience stores, and that's peanut butter Twix.
Oh yes.
Oh, peanut butter
You
Twix.
cannot get them anywhere else. You can only find them in gas stations. I've looked everywhere, and nobody sells them except for like AMPMs and like in 7-Elevens and stuff. Yeah.
Fuckers.
Yeah, it is different. I definitely like those. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that's comparable that you can get anywhere else are the Reese's I don't remember what they call them. But
Sticks?
The sticks, yeah.
Yeah.
That's close, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had Reese's Sticks.
I've never had those either.
Reese's Sticks is like a Kit Kat, but with peanut butter.
Reese's Sticks is basically those wafer cookie things, but it's got peanut butter and chocolate instead of just chocolate or whatever the other things you have on them, cream or something.
Right.
The wafer cookies or whatever, they're like grandma's versions of Oreo.
Nice. Do you guys want to jump into our top 5 happy places? Our happy places?
Sure.
Yeah.
And this is like completely up to interpretation. So
I gotta use the bathroom real quick, but I'll be right back. That is definitely a happy place. Right
the bathroom?
No, what's on camera?
Yeah.
Oh, this screen.
No.
Yeah, but
It's a family show.
Bathroom could be a happy place.
Used to be.
If
Till we got Jeff coming in. Well, Jeff, kick us off with your number 5 happy place.
Right exactly where I am right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's actually my number 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
right here with you jokers is what I wrote.
Shucks.
Yeah. I mean, what I mean by that just is in any moment, just wherever I am.
Nice.
Right? It's a choice. I'm just really practicing the whole choice thing, like not judging and not, being present with everybody and really learning something from all the experiences and being present, not living in the past to try to predict the future, kind of an idea. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with
way to be.
where I'm at.
It really is.
Yeah, we should practice
Seems
that all.
very wise, yes.
Yes, I'm very wise.
Nice.
Well, that practices,
Yes, it's a very good.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like we are just a vehicle for the practice then.
Correct.
right?
Yeah. Geez, well, my number 5, I was going to say meat sticks, but that was the last one. But my number 5 happy place is just home with my family.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my new immediate family, kids and wife and stuff like that. So-
Yeah, you got a good thing
And just
going.
be home, man. I just being home.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of a homebody.
Yes.
But that's my safe space.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I know where the snacks are.
exactly. And they're mine. I've already paid for them.
And they're mine.
Mike, what about you? What number 5 happy place?
It's the sleep thing.
Nice. I
'cause
should have
can
had that
sleep
on my
kind of
list.
anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
So, but I find that just great.
So you're probably not aware when you are sleeping, but so it's that space.
It's the check it out, baby. I'm checking out.
Just that time when you're drifting off.
But sleeping is being, right? So I'm not against it. And, I do have active dreams. I just don't always remember dreams.
Yeah. It's 1/3 of your life, man.
Yeah, I like my sleep state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
It cleans out a lot of the brain.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that since I've started using my CPAP or BiPAP rather, back in 2018, since then I've been able to actually have a full 8 hours of sleep. Before that, I would maybe sleep at most 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, wow.
And then wake
That's
up.
not good. Yeah. Yeah, Mikey, we just did you. Todd, what would your number 5 happy place be?
My personal space, just being alone. Just
Hanging out in your room.
hanging out in my room, dinking around on my computer, watching something on the TV.
I like it.
Just, enjoying being alone by myself. Although there are times where I don't want to be alone, but more often than not, when I'm in a good headspace and I'm just like I don't want to be around people, I just stay home.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's healthy.
That is healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you're comfortable
A
with
lot of
yourself.
people don't have that capacity. They just need to be around people. It's
Yeah, I mean,
not that they're lonely, but it's just they're not comfortable with that.
that silence.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't have silence. There has to be something going on in my room. I mean, if I'm doom scrolling on my phone, my TV's going too.
Got it. You have a distraction happening there, but there's
Yeah.
Have you ever meditated before?
It's increasingly difficult for me to actually be entirely quiet.
Okay.
And my brain does not do that. I've tried many times over the years to try to do we talked about the other day the binaural beats, and then we've tried other things. There's a few apps I like to meditate and stuff, and my brain just will not let me do that.
Yeah, guided meditation or whatever.
I just can't do it. The best way for me to just to like zone out my brain is quiet. Is I'm just randomly playing Minecraft. I'll start the game up, and I've had the same map for like the past 6 years, and I'll just think around on there. I won't be like, I'm not actively trying to do things. I'm just like wandering.
Well, that's what meditation really is that focus on nothing, but you're doing it with Minecraft.
Yep.
So you're just specifically on one task. So a lot of people meditate on their breath, and they just come back to that breath. But when you're doing Minecraft, you're meditating.
I'm just like, I'm digging a hole, or I'm building something, or I'm fixing something that got blasted by a creeper, because those fuckers are evil. I mean, what a creeper is, in case people don't know, is a creature in the game that once it gets close enough to you, it goes off like a bomb and blows everything up in like a 15 block radius. And I made the mistake of building a place where these things like randomly appear. And I learned quick.
It looks like a dick.
You know what?
I mean, not just like the personality, the shape.
It's a green pecker, is what it is.
Okay.
But it actually originally it was a coding error. They were coding the pigs in the game, and the coding error made that shape. They changed the skin color and the face, but that was originally supposed to be a pig. So
Minecraft.
But yeah, they will appear randomly in the darkness and like right behind you, and all you'll hear is a fuse going off and like a fuse lighting up, and then you have maybe 2 or 3 seconds before it explodes and destroys everything around it.
Sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Jeez. Jeff, what about you? Are we on number 4 then?
Yeah.
So I driving in general, but specifically driving like in a windy, like a mountain pass that has, kind of like Cars, the cartoon, or the
movie?
The movie, Cars, the movie. When they're just going on Route 66, and there's something about just kind of getting
motion.
into the motion of the drive, and just kind of figuring out the drive and the road. Yeah, it's fun.
Driving for me in my teens and my 20s was great, even into my 30s. But now I don't know. Maybe I just need to do a road, like a really long road trip.
I think.
Yeah, not on the freeway.
I think what it is you drive too much for work.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I think if you were driving to do something fun, you would probably enjoy it more.
Yeah.
And I just love driving. I just like the act of the manipulation of a car.
Yeah.
You know what we should
especially
do?
a stick shift. And
you know what we should do? We should do a road trip down to Oregon to the Goonies house.
Just there past summer.
yeah,
I know.
Take Highway 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite drives is up through Chuckanut to Bellingham. You go through Bow and Edison.
Yeah.
Stellar.
It is nice, yeah.
And you got those views. You get there at sunset. You go eat some oysters, and then go up that drive and stop at the bakery and get into. So good.
The other one I've never done that I want to, but I've never done is go to Roslyn.
Oh yeah, yeah. Roslyn's great.
Yeah. Go to the break.
Good old northern exposure.
Yeah.
I met a lot of those actors when I was in Special Olympics back in the 90s.
You were in the Special Olympics?
I was. I did alpine skiing in the winter, and I did swimming in the summertime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
I was not one of the kids that wore a helmet, though.
Okay.
So that explains a lot.
Well, always wear a helmet, kids, when you're out there skiing. It's an important thing to do.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that...
What's that guy's name? John Denver?
John Denver.
Did he take a stick?
No, that was Sonny Bono.
Sonny
John
Bono.
Denver's there.
John Denver crashed a plane that was experimental. Yeah.
And a couple of the Kennedy kids, right?
With the one, anyway.
Yeah. Playing
Diddy.
football or something. Waiting for Trump to release the files.
Oh, man.
Danny. Did you say
where's
Danny?
Donnie.
Oh my God. Boys, my number 4 is my old neighborhood where I grew up on Capitol Hill, because I still go up there and it just takes me back to that childhood memories, and like, cutting through somebody's yard because that was the way we always got through something, or that's where I got my first kiss, or that's where I got busted for smoking, or what.
Same day.
That was good.
When I moved back to Renton the first time that I moved back, I went to all the old neighborhoods I used to go to when I was a little kid, when I ride my bikes everywhere. I used to ride my bike down Cemetery Road, or 4th Avenue, or 3rd Avenue, what it's called. But I used to live out near Liberty High School. Yeah. And I would ride my bike
by the gun range.
Huh?
Isn't the gun range over there by Liberty High School?
No, you think Issaquah has a gun range behind it?
No, there's one right up here too. The Fish and Game. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Charles, what was your address? What part of Capitol Hill?
22nd and Aloha.
Nice. Oh man, we're gonna Google that shit.
923 22nd Avenue East.
Oh, sorry.
Is that on Google Maps?
I bet it's like a $2 million house now. Right?
Dude, it's like $4 million.
It's just probably an apartment complex.
923 what?
923 22nd Avenue East.
Nice.
Yeah, don't go visit these people. These people are...
Nothing to do with today's show.
Private knock on the door.
Yeah, come and knock on the door. Yeah,
see if my little marking where Mom used to measure us. See if that's still there.
Oh, that would be nice.
All right, here it is.
Oh my gosh.
Take us down.
Yeah.
Take us down memory lane.
Yeah, geez. So
is that the Pipe and Farfers? Who's the Blue House?
Scroll in. Oh, that's the Mommers.
Nice.
Super nice couple. I think they still live there, if they're still living. The Mombers were there when my dad died. So Mrs. Momber, a very German lady, she used to run a travel agency. So she set up these cruises, and they went with this cruise group, and they were on the. Were they on the boat? They might have been on the boat when Dad died.
Oh wow!
But Mr. Momber spoke at the funeral, and the funny thing is, awesome thing is that during their cruises, my dad would always pick up rocks from different places and put them in his backpack, just as kind of a fun joke. So they were in Algeria or Rome or somewhere like that, and he would pick up a rock and put it in there. Yeah. Well, Mr. Momber, Horst, created this board where he tied all these rocks from all these places and labeled them all, because he kept track of them and gave it back to him and said, these are all the rocks. And there was probably 20 different rocks that were on there, and they're just fantastic. Still out at the Bonnie Lake House, which is
that
great.
is so good. Yeah. I'm so glad
that's
they did
very
it.
Thoughtful thing, man. That's
was
creative.
so cool.
That means more than anything.
It really does,
Really,
yeah. But they've got an elevator in that house, because the grandparent, well, their grandparents now, they moved to the 3rd floor, and then their daughter and her husband live and their kids live in the rest of the house.
It's a big house.
It is a big house.
It looks like it's about 6,000 or 7,000 square feet.
I don't know if
the elevator's a great idea.
And where's your house?
Go across the street. So I think that's it right there. Yeah.
Oh,
hard to see. Tons of, and they did a lot of work since we lived there. But
let me go back down here.
I love technology.
Oh.
I actually, in the last couple months, went on to Google Maps and looked up my grandparents' old address, and the house is completely different. And apparently, I looked on one of those real estate websites. I think it was Redfin or one of the other ones.
Nice.
And the house sold 2 years ago for $1.6 million.
I know, it's crazy. Go down 2 houses down the street, the other direction.
Yeah.
Not that one.
By the maple right there? Oh.
One more house. It's hard to see from the street, and then take a left. Well, behind those bushes is the Bigelows, and Fran Bigelow started Fran's Chocolates.
Wow.
Way back in the 80s.
Yeah, it's hidden back there.
It is hidden back there.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, they still live there. So she started Fran's Chocolates, and I remember she bought her first refrigerated display case. It was used, and we went over and she had all the kids cleaning it and wiping it all down. And that was her first store down on Madison, down in Madison Park.
Gee, that's great.
Right.
Madison was there for a long time. Yeah.
Cool bit of history. And
Yeah, what did she hand out for Halloween?
Just regular candy, but every birthday party, she would make these ganache cakes, these so fucking rich. You just do like a little sliver of it because it was such a rich chocolate taste to it. But every birthday party, Christmas time, you name it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
so let's go to that place where you had your first kiss. Come on.
Yeah. Is there a psychic
We
residue?
have to go into the alley for that.
Well, that's the next episode.
All right, let's get away
In
from.
fact, those are my underwear behind the dumpster.
Jeez. Mike, what would number 4 happy place be for you?
Geez, what does that even say? Oh, the woods.
The woods.
Just
That's
northwest-
that's my number 3.
Yeah.
The woods, that's definitely a Gen X thing for sure. Because one of the guys I follow on TikTok and on Instagram is Tizrock, Tizroc. He talks about going to the woods all the time.
Yeah, rope swings up in the woods, sting nettles. But I have always felt comfortable in the Northwest forest in general.
Yeah.
I've always felt comfortable there.
Because
I've been to jungles too, and I've never necessarily felt comfortable in a jungle because it always just seems like there's something watching
Ready
you
to eat you.
that's very hungry. Yeah, at all times.
I just remember as a kid going out into the woods near the house and playing G.I. Joe with my friends.
Yeah, just tromping through the woods, and there's moss and rotted trees, and it's fucking cool.
Is that a school, Charles, at the end of the night?
That's Holy Names Academy.
Oh, it's
and we
right
talked
on the
about
block,
that
yeah.
when Captain Benedetti's wife came in because her daughter goes to that school.
Oh, yeah.
When we had our movable feast down there.
What's this temple here? Is that the dome for the school?
That's
or
the school. Yeah, that's part of the school.
rectory or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Part of the
And then
school.
where in this alley did you make out?
You're really trying to figure this out.
Because I'm checking this. This is a great vibe back here.
Because the alleyways changed.
I think it'd be great if we had recording whatever it is you're looking at, so we could also show that on camera.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
that would be nice.
Next time.
And if we can get a picture of, do you know where she lives?
I don't.
Yeah. What's her name? What's her name? I can Facebook Messenger.
It's our new segment.
Yeah. Find old girlfriend.
How to be a creeper.
She probably wasn't even a girlfriend.
No. Very young age. You'd have to go to Stevens Elementary School to get there.
Cute.
Yeah.
I mean, because I assume you were both students at said school. Yeah.
No, it was my 4th grade teacher, Mike.
Oh my God.
She said she saw something in me.
Gross. All right.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's so jeez, guys.
Wow.
Come on, we didn't.
This is the longest alley I've ever been in.
Jeez. I don't know. Are you still going down the...
I'm still going. Yeah. I'm like,
No,
Yeah,
you're
they
in the
move a
next.
garbage truck down there.
No, I'm blocks and blocks down the road.
You've gone across a couple
Yeah,
of
you've
roads.
kind of got across a couple
Well,
roads.
but it's still
It's
the
still the
alley.
same alley.
Yeah, the alleys last to Gaylor, I think, all the way
The
down to
alleys go
Gaylor.
the entire neighborhood, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And what a nice alley.
That, I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is.
A lot of skateboard ramps built, a lot of bike jumps
Well,
made.
what about what was your favorite hill to snow? What do they call that? Sled down.
sled.
Geez, it's Prospect. So if you go back to Prospect, end of the block, there was a short hill, and then we would turn to the left and go down two really steep hills. And we called it Devil's Dip when we were kids. And that's when it would snow for a week back in the day. And we'd have snow on the ground.
Gotcha.
And we had the old radio flyer.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
But then you had to walk all the fucking way back.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But
that would
it-
go all the way down this.
All right.
down
Are you on
here?
Prospect?
Yeah.
Just made days.
Gee, okay, so go straight down. No, man.
That jumped a little bit.
No, that was about life size.
Yeah, East Prospect. So there's I think this is back to your,
Is that 22nd?
this is 21st.
Okay, go back. Yeah, go the other direction.
I mean, that's thin.
Yeah, here's 22nd.
Okay, so we could start about here
Yeah.
and go down the hill straight.
Go down here. Oh my God! And then it would get to the very end, and you would go right.
Well, and then we take a left right here, and then go down these two.
yeah.
Look at that!
Yeah.
That's a
cool.
good ride.
So that was what we called.
But you had
Devil's
cars though on each
Oh,
side.
yeah.
Of the,
And my buddy Aaron actually was cruising down a lot of speed, got trapped under a car. The poor guy, because he just went.
This is super long. It goes way the hell down there.
And then you'd have to
Great.
walk all the way back.
Yeah, like an hour back up, right?
Yeah, but he had a car.
He went under the car and got stuck because he was still on the sled.
Yeah.
Wedged
And he was
in.
wedged in
How'd you
there.
get him out?
Oh, we all
We
just
didn't.
yanked him. He's still there. This is 1984. He's still there.
Guys,
I can't move my hands.
We leave him milking cookies.
did I do that?
He's chewing the heads off of rats. Stay alive.
He's like Randy from the Christmas story.
Jeez, where the hell are we? Todd, did you do your number 3?
I haven't even done my number 4.
Do your
For
number
happy
4.
places? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're doing the number 4 next.
Yeah, my grandparents' house up in North Seattle.
Nice. Where in North Seattle?
Do you know where the Fifth Avenue Tavern is? Next to a block and 2 blocks away from Saint. Oh God, what the fuck? I can't remember the name of that church my grandma went to. It was a Catholic church up on the Maple Leaf neighborhood. But yeah, it's like 8615 Fifth Avenue Northeast.
Okay.
So it was like a couple blocks south of that house was where the Fifth Avenue Tavern is, and it was like a little dive bar back in the day. I don't know what it's going on now. But there was also there used to be a restaurant there right next to the same building on Fifth Avenue. Fifth and
Nice. So what are your memories of the house? Did it smell a certain way? Did it look a certain way?
It was my grandparents' house, so it was just one of those. It was. I don't remember when they built. I think the house was built in the 40s, but from my memory is like the early 70s all the way through like late 90s is when they had it.
Is this your Irish granny?
Yep, my mom's mom. The living room had the long shagged orange, that orange from the 70s. They had it was kind of like that orange along with that green everywhere.
Yeah. My house was decked out in the green.
The olive green and the pumpkin.
The appliances that matched.
Yeah, pumpkin orange
avocado.
and avocado green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was everywhere. But she had that it wasn't a couch, it was a sofa. And it was one of those that had like the wood arms on the ends.
Yeah.
But it was like halfway down the wood arm, it became a cloth
Fabric
thing. But it was that weird pattern. But you could never just have it on with nothing on. There was always some sort of doily thing attached to it.
Right.
Macrame. There was a macrame
doily
blanket thing that went over the back of it.
Oh, an Afghan.
That's what it was.
Afghan. Yeah, my grandma made a bunch of Afghans.
And I have memories of laying on that carpet watching TV, and my granddad would be reading his newspapers, the sports or whatever he'd read, and I'd be watching cartoons or whatever, and I'd be watching the show, just getting into it and giggling and laughing, whatever. And next thing you know, someone's tickling my feet, and I turn around and the paper, he's got the paper, and he's like reading the paper, and I look back and I don't see, he's not peeking around or nothing, but I was like, Grandpa, stop that. He's like, what? And he puts the paper down and I go, what? I was like, you're tickling my feet. He's like, I do no such thing, and flip the paper back up and start reading again. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did your granny marry an American guy, or were
Yeah.
they married in Ireland?
No, he was an American dude. His family was from the South, and I think originally they immigrated from Germany. I think.
Okay.
But yeah.
Nice.
He was definitely the strong, silent type. I think my grandma liked him because he was very reminiscent of John Wayne, that man's man, tall, burly, barrel chest, and that kind of stuff. What's that?
That's where we're sitting right now, but it's the tattoo shop.
Oh,
The picture on Google.
Is that Google is still the tattoo place?
Yeah, but check it out. You go one back here, and it's current.
Nice.
Right? But they're mixing it up.
Jeez.
Yeah, because it's probably a good image, and that's why they kept it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Fun.
Where the hell we at?
That was
Jeff.
my number 4. So yeah,
You're number 3, sir.
Snap into a Slim Jim. No, that's the wrong one. So the ocean or sailing.
Oh, sure.
Sailing.
That's
Sailing,
Heeled
take me
over.
away.
Heeled over and just you're catching a breeze.
Yeah.
You're beating up into the wind, or you're
That's my number
running
1.
or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a wonderful thing. Or just at the ocean on the beach, just having it slam into the. Yeah.
Surf
I mean,
and everything.
I remember
There's a lot of energy in
being
there.
on my mom's boat when I was a teenager, and some of the most fun I had on that boat was when we were going full speed on that thing, going through.
Heeled over with water on the deck.
I mean, it was like an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches away from the surface of the water, the top of the boat.
rail.
Yeah, the rail. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the edge. You want to go kind of hang out in that edge. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I used to be a powerboat guy growing up, just because that's all that I had ever been on.
Yeah.
And then I had an opportunity in Australia to sail in Sydney Harbor on a. I can't remember the length of it, but it was a racing sloop, a sloop or whatever it's called. And I was 16, and it was just amazing. It was like beautiful. The cliffs out by the ocean, and then going by Sydney Opera House and everything. I was just like magical.
Yeah.
And there was no sound. It wasn't this whole, we're going to get there. You know?
And it was quiet. The only thing you're hearing is the waves slapping up against the side of the boat.
Right. It's just, and you're using hydrodynamics and aerodynamics to the wind.
Yeah, it's totally cool.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good.
Do you have a favorite beach?
In Australia?
Just in the world?
Yeah. So when Melinda and I and Fran went on our honeymoon together, good old Fran Leonard was my wingman, because we were driving to Cabo San Lucas, right? So when we got to Cabo San Lucas, we put up camp just, I guess it was the east, towards the airport. We pulled into town and then found this amazing beach, and it looked like you were on the moon. And it was just these beautiful rock formations, and we were just right there on the beach, had this whole place to ourselves.
Wow.
It was like you were in this secluded space. This was before it all got built up, 1996, and it was just magical.
Wow.
It was beautiful. And, Tulum was really great.
Tulum is awesome.
Tulum's got that oatmeal kind of sand, especially at the ruins.
Yep. And the blue water, that water can't be any more blue.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great beaches out there for different reasons. Agate Beach down in Oregon, just this place, I think out of Lincoln City or Pacific City. You walk up the beach and then you come into a kind of a dead end when it's at high tide, and you can get stuck around the corner if it goes down and then back up. And there's thousands, and I mean, it's just a beach full of agates.
I think the only beach I've been to in Washington that was anything close to being like on like Hawaii or some other like tropical place was Alki. I mean, it was actual sand, not just rocks and fucking needles and shit.
Yeah.
But really, and other than that, up until recently, I didn't know that those kinds of beaches existed in our state. But there's one up in Hansville. Hansville has that kind of beach. It's a sandy beach.
Yeah. Well, Washington's kind of known for some of it. It's got the longest beach in the world. Long Beach.
They call it Long Beach.
Yeah. And I didn't believe it.
That's the longest in the world, really?
The longest contiguous beach in the world.
Yeah.
Only because it stretches all the way around.
That's where they filmed the opening of the Goonies on Long Beach. That's where they had the off-road race on the beach.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But now I do.
Now you know, and knowing is half the battle.
Nice.
I think that's California.
Jeez.
Well, they filmed a lot of that movie in Oregon.
Yeah, this is the Long Beach right here. It's fucking huge.
Yeah.
It's the both sides, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All the way around, yeah. Yeah, the one place you don't want to be in a tsunami, but...
Isn't Long Beach where the Haystack Rock is?
No, that's Seaside.
Or is that Cannon Beach?
That's
Cannon Beach.
Cannon Beach, yeah.
Okay.
It's down here.
No actual cannons, though.
No actual cannons.
That's
misleading.
actually where they filmed that sequence.
Cannon Beach?
Yeah, because they're already in Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Because they filmed there and they filmed up in Seaside, I think, a little bit, and then up in Astoria for the house.
Yeah. Just there this summer. Love it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, love it. Geez, well, my number 3 was The Woods, like Mike's number 2. So, Mike, what would your number 3 be?
Somewhere, anywhere with my cats.
Nice.
Or even if I was in the middle of like a lava flow and a cat got on my lap, then things are cool.
I mean, cats have a way of like evening out your brain if you're having some sort of stress.
Cats. Mm-hmm. Cats are my friend.
They will eat you. That's the weird thing.
When you die, they'll eat your eyeballs first.
But Mike is willing to.
That's a sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
I mean,
we're bros. We're cool.
I mean, honestly, everyone knows people who have cats. They know they are not cat owners; they are cat staff.
Right.
Yeah, cats are pretty cool.
How old are your cats, Mike?
I try not to think about it. Eternal. Forever.
Got it.
They will go nowhere.
Got it.
Never.
Todd, what about you? What would number 3 look like for you?
I mean, honestly, anywhere I am with my friends. I mean, if I'm hanging out with a group of people that I really like hanging out with, having a good conversation, like doing the podcast, honestly, is definitely a happy place because I get to nerd out with some buddies of mine. So
yeah, that's what I'd put for my number 2 is just right here with you jokers. So
I put
it's a nice little side hustle.
Yeah,
we really want you guys to start paying us though.
Yeah,
it would be nice. It does keep Mike in his underwear. So.
Yes, right.
He never used to wear
in underwear, not in his underwear. I guess I should.
You can't tell by the camera angle because he is wearing pants.
I am wearing pants.
He's matured.
I should have said it keeps him in new underwear, not because he's not doing OnlyFans yet.
Yeah, I mean,
that's next.
Please send us. Let me know if I should, people. Is there anybody out there?
Yeah. Jeff, what's the number 1?
Number 1 for me is a handle of Jack.
A handle of Jack.
You guys have said that a few times. What is a handle of Jack?
You're number 2, I think. Is
I'm at number 2. Okay. Handle of Jack is just a liter of. Is it a half gallon? Half gallon.
Is it that much because it's got
liquor.
the handle?
Yeah, it's a half gallon of liquor.
Okay, handle meaning you have the whole jug to yourself. Okay.
Yeah. So my number 2 is behind a camera.
Nice.
I love.
I should have gone with that too.
Imagery and just photography.
When are we going to go out and take photos together?
Anytime. I don't do that with men usually, but I'll go out with you.
Just pick a spot and just go fucking take mass amounts of pictures.
Doesn't matter where you're at. You can find a cool shot anywhere.
Yeah. Come down into
I'm getting better at. I'm getting better at taking my camera with me when I go places, so that I always. I mean, we've got the cell phone, right? The smartphone, but
it's different. It's a whole different feel.
I mean, smartphones have really good. It depends on what you have.
They do, but the feel
usually have really good camera lenses on them.
Yeah.
Well, this is a 14, I think, maybe a 15.
Yeah.
And it's got an amazing. When it went to this one, it was that next jump up where I got the 3 cameras, and I was like, shit, I don't need anything else.
Right.
I mean, it's so much flexibility. When I went to Alaska with my sister, I had to go see the Aurora Borealis. She lives up there, but we decided to go up behind her house out to where it's dark up the hill, and we were freezing our butts off. And she goes, "Yeah, let's break our cameras," And she's got these 2 cameras, tripods, bags, all this shit. And we're getting them all hooked up, and we're freezing our asses off. And it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
Waiting for this Aurora Borealis thing to happen. So I just take my phone and I point it up at the sky, and it's like I can see before anybody else can see that it's there. And Kelly's like, "What the fuck?" So she ran out and stopped. I mean, she had 1.4 lenses and the whole 9 yards. Nice. Great stuff.
Last summer when we had the Aurora Borealis happening here, you could take a photo. You had to put it in night mode for it to show up, but it would you could take a photo and it would show up.
Yeah, it's got a really, really sensitive.
It was like really pretty greens and purples and yellows. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, that's a magical
other frequencies.
Thing.
Yeah,
I remember the first time I saw that it was in the 90s in Issaquah. I was over at one of the smaller parks. It was during the school year because we were at one of the county parks in the middle of the night having a kegger, and look up and the aurora borealis was happening. I hadn't drank anything at that point in my life. I was afraid to drink because of family and stuff, but.
Sure.
It was so cool, and everybody else was so drunk and whatever, they didn't notice it. They didn't even see it.
It's like when you first see that, you're like, oh my god,
that's what's
happening.
I remember seeing photos of it. That can't be real. That looks like it's painted.
Photoshop.
Sun throwing a lot of shit at us is what it is.
Yeah.
Not just at us, but out in general. And
Right.
Mostly it's some guy named Steve.
Yeah, it's fucking Steve. Tom Selleck.
Fucking Steve Selleck.
God damn it.
His fucked up brother.
It's the other Todd, the guy with one D. It's his fault.
Yeah, it's incredible though.
God damn it, Todd.
Yeah, I got to sit on a rooftop in North BC during a meteor storm with the aurora borealis all simultaneously. Wow, it was great. It was a highlight.
That's not terrible.
And for the record, Jeff, it was before Photoshop was ever a thing. This was like 1988.
Yeah, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, well, my number 2, I already mentioned right here with you,
Joker,
fellas. So, Mike, what would your number 2 be?
Number 2 for me is the mighty Cedar River.
Oh,
nice. Yeah, I've had a lot of really good
just walking down
moments. Yeah, just sitting by the river. Right.
Water again.
Yeah.
Man.
In a van.
Water.
Yeah, I really like Cedar, and I've spent plenty of time swimming in that river, rocking by that river, all sorts of stuff in my lifetime. So,
Yeah.
but I really do. I like that river, and I've had a lot of really good sit downs.
Yeah. We need to float that. I haven't floated it in a long time.
Yeah.
So.
I haven't
Yeah.
floated that.
There's like a 3-week
since I was a
window when
kid.
it's the air temperature is high enough and the water temperature is
Yeah.
So it works out just fine. It's
We just gotta
great.
make
And
sure
it's high enough. Did you say high enough?
Yes.
The level? Yeah. That's
We
important.
also got to make sure we have, big heavy blankets or towels to dry ourselves off, and so we don't get hypothermia and shit too.
Oh, well, I'm talking like August.
Yeah.
July.
Summer.
I mean, you can still get hypothermia, man.
We'll get you a dry suit.
Man. Kyle and I did the Middle Fork 2 August, and it was a little too late in the season to do it for parts of it, just because the water was so low, but my ass was so bruised, and not in that good way we all hope and dream of. It was just coming down, and there was a couple times, though, that I was like, I don't know that I want to do this again. There was one that flipped me around on the inner tube in my back, and you can't do anything, right? Heading right for a tree trunk that was sticking out. And I thought for sure, okay, this is gonna,
I get impaled on
this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt real bad. And thankfully, it just did a little dip, and the back of the tube hit the tree instead of my back.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
I was like, oh fuck.
That's fortunate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, fuck. I'm so lucky.
Man. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Cedar River's not that bad.
No, you're rarely
Yeah.
out of control on the mighty Cedar River there.
I've talked about this before with these two jokers over here, but years ago when I was like a toddler still, I think, my mom would take us down to the Cedar River because it was a hot day and we couldn't afford to go to the pool, which is now the skate park. But I remember thinking it would be fun to float down the river, not really knowing how to swim, thinking it was all the same depth the entire way, because it was up to my knees when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
But how deep the water was there. But when I floated down a little too far, I realized it got deeper. And I didn't know how to swim, so I couldn't swim my way back. But somebody along the beach saw me and swam out, grabbed me, pulled me
that's nice,
to the side of the river. And my mom never took us back to the river after that.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're really fortunate to have that resource right here. The lake, the river, access to the mountains.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're really, really blessed.
So good.
Right there. I would walk to the Cedar River every day in the summer.
And
You know what I mean?
the quality of the trail,
it's magnificent.
it's kept up well. Good job.
Yeah,
Good
Yeah,
job,
'cause it
Brendan.
was just train tracks back in the old olden days, right?
Oh, is that what it was?
But they've done a great job with it.
Yeah, I'm predicting an episode where we're just floating down the river and we just, just
as long as somebody has a waterproof camera of some sort.
Yeah, I got a GoPro.
iPhones are that way.
iPhones,
we just hook it up on some sort of a gimbal of some kind.
I'm not even that, just holding on to
a little pole.
Yeah, right. A 360.
That'd be cool.
yeah,
360 cameras are expensive, but those would be really cool.
Some gin and some juice.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be
Pissing
great.
your way down the river.
Wonderful.
Nice.
It's a bad combination of things, though.
Well,
Going down a river and getting loaded. Maybe one. Yeah.
Todd, what would number 2 happy place for you be?
More recently, this has been a thing for me, but getting onto VR, just being with my online friends, just hanging out and just chatting and whatever else.
Yeah.
Or even if we're not doing like improv comedy, we're just hanging out and just goofing off and talking about life and whatnot.
Yeah, there's a common theme I think we're all talking about, which is nature and people.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, those
Community,
things
yeah,
are important.
community is definitely a thing. Had I had the VR headset during the pandemic, I would have not been as lonely as I was, because I was
Because of Pornhub or what? Because you'd be able to do that thing.
The COVID thing freaked me out so bad I was afraid to leave the house.
Right.
And I wanted very badly to be with my friends during that time because I was freaked out by that thing.
Yeah.
I was just like, this thing is going to kill me if I leave the house.
Yeah.
I'm diabetic. I am overweight. I have all these issues, and it's like I'm one of those people that would absolutely kill. So, yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
And it did.
Yeah.
It did take some people.
Take a lot of people.
It took a lot. Luckily, it didn't take me, but it did take a lot of people. And I actually don't know if I knew anybody who was taken by that, but I know people who know people. So
Yeah.
I feel for them.
Scary stuff. Jeff, let's finish off this category. What was your number 1 for happy place?
Well, I have to go right back to my friend John Sanders' living room, and it was one of those places that I grew up in a pretty unhealthy environment a lot. I was in the fight or flight state all the time, trying to survive because of family issues. But over at John's house, it was a completely different experience, and they had this fireplace, and my view was from the right side of the fireplace in this little nook with blankets and pillows, and it had a pad there, and I would just sit
That
there
sounds
and
awesome.
I would watch their family exist.
Wow.
And they were musicians. Gordy, the dad, would be up. He had a little bar called Gordy's Place on the backside of the living room. Maria would be on the couch. John and Dave would be sitting there at the piano playing and making up songs. Kathleen would be doing homework or something, and then Mom would be in the kitchen up to the right.
So
And,
it's like a combination of the Partridges and the Brady's. Is what you're saying?
it was something I didn't have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have that either, man. I remember watching those shows thinking, wow, families can be nice.
Yeah. So it was what I call my safe place. When I went to therapy and, got deep into therapy, one of the questions and tactics the therapist had was to find my happy place and then go through this process, being in that space so that you can, you can go to that space every time. So
This top 5 is the one that took me the longest to write of all the ones we have on this list here.
Yeah.
Was the happy places. I literally had to think there for like a good 45 minutes before I had even one of the 5.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, what are my happy places? Where do I feel be safest and be like there's no expectations of anything. I'm just existing and enjoying what is happening around me.
Yeah, you're being either if there's people around and you're being accepted for who you are, or just out in
Just like
nature.
not having to worry about what people are thinking about me.
Yeah.
Not having to manufacture an outer shell so people don't see the real me.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely a thing for a lot of neurodivergent people, but I think it's mostly an autistic thing. But being perceived is not something we like. It just don't look at me. Don't. I don't want to know what you think what you see when you see me, because what I see and what you see are probably two completely different things. When I look at myself, when somebody else looks at me, I don't necessarily want to know what they see, because if it's worse than what I'm thinking, then I don't want to know.
Yeah. It's probably not.
Oh, I know. Logically speaking, I know.
So you have
logically, I know that my brain is not nice to me a lot of times.
Yeah.
Logically, I think that people just see me as just some goofy dude. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you are a goofy dude. I like that about you.
Jeff, are you still in touch with that family today?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Totally. Yeah, John and I have known each other since we were 5, playing Tonka trucks out in the backyard.
Nice.
Dude.
Yeah, building.
Are we talking like the big Tonka trucks, like these ones?
That's
Like,
so good.
Is there any other?
I mean, there are smaller ones, but I remember having
Not in my day.
the yellow dump truck that was like this big.
Yeah, there was like a tetanus shot waiting to happen.
Oh, yeah, it was a rust bucket and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had steam shovels. With,
I never had
so
those.
good.
With like you could like
Yes.
make stuff happen.
Yes.
It was
I never
wonderful.
had those, but I had one of the big yellow dump trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they still sell the metal ones?
Metal
I
ones?
don't
No,
know.
they're all plastic now.
Fuck, I'm gonna go for the grandkid. I think I'm gonna go on
Totally.
eBay and get it.
Honestly,
Go old school with
Yes.
that boy.
Yeah.
Get him out there in the ground.
I'll look on Hasbro's website because they might have some, or no, Big Bad Toy Store. Look on there because they will have collectible type shit.
Definitely gonna get that.
Yeah, so we played around and then
Actually,
we
I'll
lived
Google that
together.
myself.
John and I lived together for a year or so just after high school, and then we kind of lost touch with one another. But
But still in touch today.
still very much in touch.
Nice.
very
Yeah,
much,
perfect.
especially with his mom too. His mom lives over in Ellensburg, and
Still cooking.
yeah, she's still going along. I spent some time with her in Ellensburg, and she took me all around Ellensburg, and she is just
Oh, wow.
a dynamic human being.
Oh.
And we met everybody. She's like, we'd walk into stores and stuff, and she goes, "Oh, Jeff, this is such and such."
Oh wow.
And, it was
How long
great.
has she been in Ellensburg?
Oh, I think about 8 years, 10 years.
Jeez. So she must be that type of person to
Yeah.
get to know everybody quick.
Oh, yeah, she is a talker, man. She is a very connective person.
That's awesome.
So I did some Google Foo, and I found that they still make the classic steel mighty dump truck.
Nice.
And they sell them at Target for $30.
No, that ain't bad
That's
at
not
all.
bad at all.
Oh, come
All
on.
right, can we push pause on this and
Yeah,
go
yeah,
get
we'll
one
be
right
right
now?
back.
We'll be
Yeah,
right
yeah.
back.
Oh my God. I mean, seriously though, that's the same exact truck that I had.
Yep.
Yeah, so
And
good.
oh man, I used to
That
put all
and the
my-
scoop or the
Yes.
leveler.
I remember putting all my Hot
It's
Wheels
like
in the
a
back
grader,
on
yeah.
this and making it like
Grader.
a car transport.
Yeah,
back on
might have to buy a used one and then just sandblast.
Yeah.
Do a different
that-
color or something. Go, nah, it's got to be the
Or you
Tonka blue
patina it in a
or
way
Tonka red.
or something. You can make it kind of
Here we go.
custom.
Here
It were
look at
decals
that.
or something.
Look at that shit right here. Oh, it's not big enough file, but that's like a rust bucket. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's awesome.
that looks bigger than the one that we have
Dump
here
trucks
on
are cool.
Target.
They are.
Yeah.
Get shit
Had the
done.
little rubber intake scoop on the top that would
Nice.
always get broken off or whatever.
Yeah, good.
I kind of want to buy one of these just because it wow.
Yeah. All right, well, back at the podcast, boys. My number one was beach again.
Oh, yeah.
My happy place. It doesn't matter what time of year it is, even on the Washington coast. I'll take my shoes off and dip my
Oh,
feet in
yeah,
that
'cause it's-
water, walk that
yeah,
sand.
no, it's important.
Got to.
It'll take you off. It'll take your breath away.
Yeah.
But it's if you go into your ankles or whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
Your calves, and then
Right.
you get hit by a rogue.
Yeah. My nuts. So cold.
I know. How come you can't go any further than that?
Mike's very focused on his nuts.
My nuts.
Maybe we need to have a show about Mike's nuts.
Yeah. Mike, what would your number one be?
The whole rainforest.
Oh,
Because it's
yes.
just magical. It's
Yeah.
because it takes the Northwest forest and just gives it a little extra oomph.
Yeah.
Just, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Donnie, my brother, and I, and a guy named Mel did a mountain bike ride up through somewhere up there.
Sure.
I can't remember the trail we were on though, but yeah, it's just phenomenal.
Yeah. It's
I
The
like
ferns
this. I like
everywhere.
this sign up there that says "Big Tree." It's just a
With an arrow.
sign that way, big tree, and then you go and there's a fucking
there's a
big
fucking
tree.
big tree.
Yeah.
A tree-
25-foot diameter.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like,
Just
what?
nuts.
And then you get out on those back roads back up in there, and the moss and just the dense nature of that. Right?
And it's just old. Yeah. It's old.
I remember
We're
in
very lucky.
high school there was a place out near Hobart they just called it Jeep Hill, and I don't know if it's if it's an actual road or if it was one of those things that somebody just made with their Jeep on the side of the road on Hobart. But I remember going up there with some friends who did not have a Jeep, and we got stuck.
Oh, geez.
Somebody with a Jeep helped us out, though.
Nice.
That's why it's called Jeep Hill.
Well, Todd, finish us off on this category. What's your number one happy place?
Oh man, it has to be any pop culture convention. Anytime I'm surrounded by people like me, it's a cool thing.
Yeah. Like-minded people like to dress up, like to just talk about their fandom.
You're not going to get judged by anybody
No.
because you're wearing a Star Wars T-shirt or whatever. I remember going to a convention that was here in Renton back in 2017. Late 2017. It was at the hotel right off
Tukwila?
No, here in Renton. It's now owned by the city, I think, but it used to be
the old Red Lion?
the old Red Lion, yeah. And I remember being there. One of the guests had a Back to the Future DeLorean, and he was a professional cosplayer. Yep, I was there. I took photos of those people, He had one of the cosplays he had was of those giant beetle things from the Dark Crystal.
Oh, the Skeksis?
No, the beetle, the large beetle-like things. They were like
Kind of tanky.
They were like a giant tank-like bug.
Yeah.
But one of the things I remember the most about that weekend is because it was in February, I think. So it was right around when football was huge happening. It was happening every Sunday. So it was the last day of the convention. It was Sunday morning, afternoon. And walked past the bar inside the hotel, and a bunch of guys were wearing their football jerseys and watching the game on TV, and a group of Jedi walked past, and this guy was like, "Man, look at all the fucking nerds, man." I go, "Says the guy wearing a fucking jersey with his favorite football player on it."
Yeah.
He goes, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Well, he likes Obi-Wan Kenobi. You like whoever the fuck this is."
Yeah.
That's the difference. You know, it's no different. The only difference is one is science fiction and one's a sport.
Yeah.
He goes, "I never thought of it like that." It's like, yeah, it was called Renton City Comic Con back in 2017.
That's, I think, when Ben Andrews was kind of big into.
Yep,
making
he
that
was
happen.
he and Brian and Emilio and a couple other people were all like co-founders of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right on. I think we should do this, guys. I think we should stop there because we're running long on time, and then we can decide to do either the next top 5 for our bonus round, or save it for later, because we haven't done a sharing is caring in a long time.
I think we should do this last one next week. Is our top 5 for next week? The biggest movie pilot twists. We should have that for next week.
Okay. Yeah, either one. Yeah, for sure.
So what's the alternative?
The last one is the worst movie.
No. What's instead of that? What are we going to do?
We're going to do sharing is caring and kind of wrap this episode up, and then we'll come back and do the bonus round.
Okay. Is Mike going to have to show his nuts?
He might have to if that's what he wants to share with the.
Well, I've got something else, actually.
Yeah, what do you got, Mike?
Well, Mary Clymer is going to do a full moon breathing symposium in this very space on March 14th, and has so generously decided to give away a 10% discount to anybody who mentions our town podcast.
Right on.
It's a collaboration, people.
Nice.
A collaboration.
What
Us
is a
in good
full
health.
moon breathing?
I can tell you what that is.
Yeah.
So we had one of those kind of the other on Valentine's Day. Mary had a thing here. We had about 7 people in here. She had her singing bowls, and we did some breath work. And this breath work was transformative.
Wow.
Transformative in a way that I didn't realize. I thought I'd done some breath work before. This is amazing. So there's like an up regulation, down regulation of your breath, and you are you're vibrating. And then she finishes off with the bowls, and she's got the harmonics in here. I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but those bowls were just rocking, man.
That's great.
You know the binaural beats I was talking to you about the other day, the harmonious one tone or 1 hertz in one ear and 1 hertz in the other ear. I didn't have to have headphones on, man.
I mean,
this
if
place
it's too
was
loud, then it hurts everywhere. But yeah,
and she had just she had a really good jam going.
Yeah.
Nice.
there is a. I don't remember what the frequency is, but there's a frequency that like gets your brain to tingle, make your whole body tingle when you listen to it. And I think there's some playlists on Spotify
have to
that
check that out.
and do that. I'll have to.
Yeah, I highly recommend anybody listening go sign up for that.
So that's March 14th.
Correct.
Where can people go and sign up? Is it just on Facebook?
I bet it's in Breath Mindset.
Breath Mindset.
Yeah.
Hey, you send me a link and I'll post it on Facebook for.
Okay.
I can look real quick. It's,
And 10% off.
I mean, you can't beat that, people. You can't beat that.
Actually, if you can find
Look at that kid.
Jeff, go ahead and share that to the Facebook page.
The
You have
real
access to
deal.
do that.
the what?
You can go ahead and share that to the Facebook page.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, but it's I believe it's breath-mindset.com.
Thank you.
Yeah, breath-mindset.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think she's going to send us a QR code.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great idea.
And March 14th.
Yeah, that's neat.
Got it. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is that
Thank you,
Saturday?
fellas. I believe it is a Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good experience, Jeff.
Very much so.
Recommend. And what does this help you with? It just expands your lungs? It just...
Yeah, so Mary talked about it. It's got a positive effect on your blood flow and getting cellular connections happening. We don't work enough on our breath. It's just right there for us. We use it all the time, but most people just breathe shallow.
And it's the one necessary function that we can consciously alter.
Yes.
You can't do that with your heartbeat or your bunch of other shit, but you can with your breath.
You have a choice as to how you breathe, and we just need to practice it. It's a good practice, and it's a good experience to go through in your life, and you'll probably do it all the time then after that.
So it's just a type of meditation then.
No, it's a practice of actual physically breathing.
Yeah.
But I mean, isn't that what you do when you're doing meditations? Is you're doing
Concentrating on
that kind of concentration and that kind of like.
Yeah, what you're referring to is like concentrating on your breath. A lot of times people concentrate on their breath. They'll have a thought and then they'll like get distracted, and then you're like, wait a minute, I'm not thinking about my taxes right now. I need to go back to my breath.
Yeah.
And you just think about the rise and fall of your chest, and you just keep coming back to that and that's how you practice. Is it you kindly just see that thought come in and let it kind of pass by you, and then
But this is more of a how to use your breath to
this
Relax.
is a vigorous this is a vigorous there's some real breathing in there, man. And you're doing it for a while, and then you're holding at the top for like a minute and a half, right? You just oxygenated your blood. You're just really just vibrating. You're tingling, and then you go to the bottom and you hold with all your breath out. And she's the master of it.
Interesting.
I just experienced it.
Yeah. I did a class for actors on breathing to help your performance, enhance your performance, be able to,
So you're not gasping for air in the middle of a sentence?
kind of thing, yeah.
Voice control,
stuff like that, which was interesting. But this sounds,
Yeah, your most important next thing anyone has to do is take a breath.
Yeah.
If you don't, you don't get to live.
Right.
So your next most important thing is your breath. And so I don't think we pay attention to
And all the other systems that it directly and immediately affects, and then others that have long-term residual effects.
All I know is that like deep breaths and like being focused on your in and out breathing, if you're having like a panic attack or any kind of like anxiety attack type thing, will help you from spinning out.
Yeah, so once you get blood to your brain and you get your central nervous system done, I did a Kundalini breathwork class, a gong bath with her friend Jill.
Cool. I bet that was.
I don't know what any of that is, but
great.
okay.
So Kundalini is a breath practice that works the spinal fluids up into your pineal gland. I don't know how that all works, but it's when you are actively focusing on your breath and you're doing a certain amount of breathing,
right,
you can get yourself and movement, you upregulate your central nervous system and it's just really jacked, and then you actively with the Kundalini breath work you then bring it all the way down and calm it. So now it's like meditation, you're calming it with intention, right? And you recognizing when you're out of, like you're saying, you recognize when you're out of whack. You do some box breathing. You breathe deeply in through your nose, and then for 4 seconds, and then out through your mouth for 8, and then hold. And
I don't know about doing all that, but I do like do some slow, deep breaths when I'm starting to like get a little overstimulated, and it definitely helps kind of calm me down.
Nice. Anything else, Mike? Anything else?
Correction on my part. Friday the 14th.
Okay, Friday night.
Friday, March 14th.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah. Any TV shows, movies, bands you've gone and saw?
Damn it. That
you got it.
My brain is not wanting to work with my mouth. That TV show that's on Amazon, the large dude.
Oh, Reacher?
Reacher, thank you. Oh my God. I was thinking like Breaker. No, that's not right. Reacher, the new episode just dropped today.
Oh, really?
Or yesterday.
All right, I knew it was coming soon.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just one episode they've dropped?
So far, yeah.
Are they going to do one a week?
One a week.
Okay.
And the all of the new Spider-Man animated series that's on Disney Plus is available on Disney Plus now. They just dropped the last episode yesterday as well.
Jeff, what about you? Any new bands, any new restaurants, any new TV shows? You're not a TV guy. Any new movies that you've seen?
You know, I'm interested in a movie that just kind of passed by my socials recently, and I can't remember what it was called, but it looks fascinating. And I don't know what it is.
No. What was it about?
I don't know what it is.
What was it about?
Where a guy dies all the time and he gets like respawned. He gets
the one with Pattinson.
Yeah,
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Eddie 23 or something.
Eddie 23,
like that?
maybe. Yeah, that one looked interesting. And then there's another one that it looks like they mix a bit of like real, camera work with AI, maybe some AI camera work and that sort of thing, but I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I haven't been to a movie in a long time.
Yeah.
And so I think I need to go to a movie.
Nice.
I don't watch TV at home. I don't watch shows at home. I got addicted for a long time, binge watching things, and it just was unhealthy for me.
Gotcha.
Right? I'd pull over on the side of the road and watch 3 episodes of something. I'm like, I gotta watch this. Right?
Oh wow.
The last time that happened was back when Lie to Me was big. That show, Lie to Me. That was a great show for me.
My friend Shannon, her mom, before she retired, was driving from Bremerton all the way to Everett every day for work, and she was watching, I don't remember what show it was, but it was something on Netflix. She was watching it as she was driving down the highway. And she clipped somebody's car and it destroyed her side mirror because she was watching Netflix.
Oh no.
I'm laughing only because now it's just like I can't believe she fucking did that, but she would take the Edmonds ferry from Kingston, and then go drive from Kingston over to Bremerton every day.
Man.
And on that trip, she would watch Netflix.
Jeez.
in her car going down Highway 101.
Yeah.
Not good. Boys, I've been watching, there's a channel on Prime that you can watch this. It's a British television show. Mike, you might really enjoy this. It's called The Repair Shop. Have you heard of this?
No.
So it's a British TV show where people bring in items that mean something to them from their childhood, or maybe it was owned by their grandfather, their mom, whatever. And there's a group of experts that work in this repair shop, and they get their items repaired. Sometimes they just, keep the patina, but just get it in working order. So they've got a metal guy, a wood guy, a porcelain gal, a leather gal, whatever you need.
It sounds like a better version of American Restoration.
Much better, and it's a really good feel-good show because people will bring in stuff and explain what it means to them, and it might not even be anything that's worth money monetarily, but it means something to them.
Of some
right?
kind, yeah.
One of the coolest ones was, do you guys remember the band Hot Chocolate? I believe in miracles.
Oh, I didn't know there was a band called Hot Chocolate. That's
I thought
great.
that was a joke in a
sexy
show
thing.
with.
So it's a British
No, that was
band.
Sexual Chocolate.
It's
Never
an
mind.
English band called Hot Chocolate, and the guy, the bassist who co-wrote most of the songs, originally came from Jamaica or somewhere, moved to England, had a kid, had a wife. They had a string of hits, and then he ended up moving back to Kingston or wherever he's from, and his son now inherited his bass that he played on all these records
cool.
and stuff. So they brought in, is it a luthier?
Yes.
They brought in a luthier, and he actually sort of rebuilt the bass guitar so it's a playable condition, but left it, looking wise the same as what his dad would have been playing on stage in the 70s. But I mean, like old bicycles, porcelain vases, leather jackets. Some lady brings in a leather jacket that her grandfather wore in World War II, who was a glider pilot, and they restored enough. But it's so feel good. And then they bring the person back into the barn and they show them what they've done, and the person just feel them welling up and steam.
So that same kind of formula is one of those fixer-upper house shows?
And what my understanding is they don't charge the people for this. The people write in, say, I have this item, and then they invite them in, they find an expert through like Instagram. Right. There's a group of regular experts that are always there, but then it's also British. It's very British. Oh, my dad would be so chuffed. Stuff like that.
It looks like we're
fun
for everybody watching. We're looking at a video of it right now.
Yeah,
and it's really got a high production value.
It does. It does.
It's shot well.
It does.
It's like it almost feels like Antique Roadshow without the this is how much this is worth.
Yeah, it's more of a repair and make it better. Like some lady from India brought in a coconut scraper on an episode I watched. It's like a coconut scraper, but her grandmother, her great-grandma, her grandma, her mom, and now her all had the same coconut scraper. So they had the wood repair guy basically fix it up. They do dolls and stuffed animals, stuff like that. So that guy's amazing. He's a clock.
Can they fix J.D. Vance's couch?
They could, but who'd want to touch it?
Vice President J.D. Vance. It's a very specific hole in his couch.
Couch fucker. Anyway, really brilliant show, and you get to know most of the experts. They're regulars on there, and
it looks like a great setup. They've got that whole place set up really well.
Yeah, it's feel good.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. So if you go to Amazon Prime, there's an actual channel that you can bring up, and that's what I do. Is I just bring it on, and it just cycles through. So I've watched a ton of them just kind of in the background as I'm working on my Buzz Lightyear Halloween guy and stuff. So
that's nice.
All right, well, ending this episode, boys, on something positive. I've got a quote from Joan Miro that I found this week that I thought was great. You can look at a picture for a week and never think of it again. You can also look at that picture for a second and think of it all your life.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
It resonated.
That's deep.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
All right, folks, come back, join us in the bonus round in the members only section or on Patreon. We appreciate you being here. If you're not a member, go be a member. Go sign up right now, and we will come back. And Todd, are we doing biggest?
Hold on. Turn down the volume. There you go.
Are we doing biggest movie plot twist? Oh, that's the bass guitar that they fixed up.
There you go. Yeah, that's nice.
I'm thinking we should do the worst movie universes.
Worst movie universes tonight for the bonus round. We'll do the other one later on.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, thanks everybody for being here. We'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.
Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you think this episode is worth $1 or $5, the boys would love to have it. Please go to ourtownpod.store for merch or to donate now. For less than a cup of coffee, you can also join the website in the member-only area for exclusive bonus content, vlogs, and more. It's just $3 a month or $30 a year. Thank you for listening to this production of Our Town Podcast Extraordinaire.